Doop. I'm just going to give it a couple seconds. Right. We're back with part two of the session. Where we last left off, the group had gone to the cathedral to see if they could fix Red's pressing issue of ghoul fever spreading through his body. And
It's not that pressing.
I don't know. It's just mildly pressing. So Grigori had left deeper into the cathedral to fetch Father Santos, and when they came back, after looking you over for a moment, Father Santos did say that I'm afraid I cannot help you with this, child. I do not have the divine gifts to cleanse you, but there are some medicines and tonics and some other spells that I could uh, help you with to make sure that your recovery is a little bit faster.
Well, I mean that'll have to do for now, I guess. I appreciate your looking at it. I mean, if it was a little further down my arm, I'd be like, we could cut it off. But that's also my sword arm, so I kind of need that.
Hmm. Yes, I don't think that would be wise. No. Uh, if you could take residence in the cathedral for the night, so that we could look over you and make sure that the the infection does not progress.
Sure. You got any idea how fast this thing progresses? Have you seen this before?
I've been reading ever since your your friends brought the issue to my attention. It would seem it takes a few days for those who are strong of heart, and a week. Within a week, however, the person does not recover. It's very likely that they will succumb to this disease.
Okay. All right. Well, shit.
Welcome to the dying crew. How's it feel?
I think it's gonna feel a lot worse once I start gathering symptoms. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll hang out here in the chapel. So there is Sigis. Uh, any recommendations for what I can do that's helpful here?
Pray
I don't
to
know.
any god that you can that Dorban comes back.
Uh, what god is he about again?
Abadar?
Abadal, right. I was thinking Asmodeus, but I was like, that's not right, is it? Because that one's a devil.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Let's pray to the
Close
devil.
enough.
I knew it was one of those A ones, but I
Same
wasn't
difference.
sure which one. Okay. Which one's the Abadar shrine? I'll go hang out over there, and maybe he'll be helpful, even though I've been not so helpful to the gods in the past.
Certainly, if you'd like to join the nighttime sessions, it's this way. And he sort of gestures at the opposite side of the cathedral. Sigis, you were about to say something?
You've reached stage 2, bargaining.
Alright, so yeah, Father Santa sort of has a hand on your shoulder, Red, as he sort of isn't really helping you stand
other
up.
Other shoulder, please.
Oh, of course. Like he moves around you and like he tries to guide you a little bit, but he's not really exerting too much force on you. But yeah, he's gonna guide you away from the group and onto the opposite side of the cathedral where a shrine to Abadar is located.
I hope you picked the right god, Dorbin.
Alright. Rest of the group. At the cathedral. What is your next step of action?
Sigus would love to speak to Father Santos if he's been doing research on ghouls to try and see what information he has, or if he has any good books. Just because I think more knowledge, especially of like undead history of like undead in the area,
Okay.
because maybe that could be helpful. And then I don't know. We can either just go. It's late. Do we want to just like prepare to go it tomorrow with the crew, or do we want to go? Which is kind of what I think we should do, or do we want to go find the that note and deal with him? But I think that might be better when we have the whole crew.
Yeah, and I think this late at night, I think that maybe we should just kind of wrap it up, try and get some rest, and then
You
rush
guys need to
some more.
sleep for spells anyway.
Yeah. Well, I just need to prepare, but yeah, I think we should just sleep and prepare
Yeah.
spells. Cool.
All right. So the two of you sort of look at Red being ushered away. Did you want to stick around to have a quick chat with Father Santos, or are you departing and leaving that for tomorrow
I
morning?
also need only 4 hours of sleep, so I have a little more time, I think.
Mhm.
So I will stay and have a chat.
Okay. Stylera, what are you doing then? Are you gonna stick around and wait for Sigas, or are you heading to bed early?
I'll wait for Sigus.
Okay. So
And then just kind of listen to the things that are happening.
yeah. So Red, Father Santos brings you over to the altar dedicated to Abadar, which holds this image of a. It's not made of gold, but it is made to seem like it's made of gold, and it looks like a human draped in a mixture of armor and robes, holding a crossbow on his hip, and a builder's hammer sort of laid against the floor with underneath his left hand, sort of posing very stoically forward. Um, but yeah, you sort of are ushered into that small area that is in front of the altar, and Father Santos sort of pats you on the shoulder and says, "All right, take your time, and someone will come around to bring you over to the bedrooms. We'll handle your health as soon as we can."
All right. Well, I do appreciate your time, Father. I know I've not been a particularly regular attendee in the past, but I do appreciate it.
It's not my place to judge you upon that, and I leave that to the gods.
Yeah, that's the part I'm worried about.
I'm certain you have potential that they will see.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Well, you've got other people to look after too. Don't worry too much on me.
All right, stay safe. And he tries to make his way back into the center of the cathedral. And like as he leaves, you can tell like he looks tired, especially for given his age and physical state. But yeah, he goes back to where Salera and Sigis are, and he sort of is aiming towards Grigori, but he sort of stops when he sees Sigis sort of expectantly looking at him. He's like, "Is there? I'm sorry. Is there anything else I could do for you?"
You say it a little louder. I just couldn't catch that.
Oh, I said if there's anything else I can do for you.
It's just so you said you've been doing some readings. Was that on ghouls and specifically? Could you just tell me what kind of stuff you're looking for? I was looking to find out a little more about ghouls and just history of if there has been any of them in the area.
I was reading through some historical books on events relating to them. I'm afraid I don't have any literature on the creatures themselves, other than the basic bestiary information.
Have there been ghouls in this area historically?
No, not historically. At least not in the records that I have found. However, I did find some records of similar breakouts in the past.
Their locations.
At different locations, indeed.
Yeah.
Specifically, the book that I found it on was one dedicated to the handling of endemic and curse-like spreads. It has turned to be a little bit quite useful. It has some treatment, alternative treatments at least to delay the onset of ghoul fever.
Would you be able to? You still have that book? Would I be able to see some of the references?
Yes. I'm currently using it for the reference notes and some of the concoctions, but you're welcome to read it at my study.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much. So they'd be like, I'm gonna stay and just read for like a little bit and then head to bed.
Okay.
Plan.
Grigori, if I could have a word with you in the meantime. You see Grigori sort of nods at the request. All right. Well, Sigis and Grigori, you can follow me to the study and tell her I bid you good night then.
Night. Thanks for your help.
It's what I live for. He nods
And then-
and goes like, Desna be with you. Starts to head out.
And also with you?
That's a perfectly
Sorry, the
good
Catholic
reply.
in me is like,
In your spirit.
There's just sensors being swung around and a bell ringing in the background. Dong, dong.
I mean, you're literally in a cathedral that is grand enough that it doesn't have just one altar; it has 6.
Damn.
Yeah. Yes.
Overcompensating for something.
I was gonna say, Red has been, I think, praying at the altar to Abadar with you know, limited limited success, I guess you might say. So what other gods are represented here?
So the other gods that are represented in the church are, let me find the full note, but if off the top of my head, it's Sanre, Abadar, Desna, Shaylin, and the 2 that I'm missing are Aristil and Gosred. So it's six gods and goddesses, and I'll repeat: Sanre, Shaylin, Desna, Abadar, Arastil, and Gosra.
Is it like 6 different religions? Or is it like then they're all very tolerant, or one religion with like is like a pantheon?
It's a pantheon.
So it's technically a pantheon, but it's like they're technically not a single group. They're just the most popular and most important religions. And here's the thing about Galarian, as opposed to the real world, is that because deities have a real like tangible effect in the world, it's less so about like them being it's either God A or God B. It's more so I believe in the teachings of A or teachings of B, and like they give me a better understanding of the world or like a better prospect of life than God B. So like different
Got ya.
people see different values, and that's why they go after one god or another.
Cool. Thank you.
So,
All right.
I'll just quickly finish this up. These six gods and goddesses are at the very least not against each other, because they do have enemies in the divine pantheons.
Same like core values or similar.
Yeah, so like you would find that Sarenrae absolutely detests the destroyer. Blanking out on the name.
Rovagug.
Rovagug, thank you. She absolutely detests Rovagug, and she that for that one deity, it is the only one place where she doesn't show mercy, which she is a goddess of, for instance.
Hmm.
But yeah, Red, you were saying.
I think he's just gonna like if there's a place in the center, he's just gonna move there and just kind of like start muttering under his breath. He's like, okay, so I don't know which ones of you might be listening, but I understand that I'm probably not the best person to be asking for your help, but you know, I am willing to, not die and change my ways potentially if one of you could give me a sign or something that I might direct my prayers to the right person. And he's just kind of, and he's basically going to spend the time until he comes over to the middle, just kind of like hoping that something indicates him one of these 6 directions.
Yeah. So the centerpiece of the cathedral, like there's a little bit of an open air garden at the center that has 7 standing stones placed neatly in the center. Those stones seem to be a lot older than the rest of the building, sort of like they've been there the whole time. And like as you're standing there, you sort of get that sort of feeling of loneliness, perhaps, because everyone that is at the cathedral, which are not very many people, because it is pretty late at night, everyone's like at the different altars, and you're sort of standing there away from everyone else, and you have just above you the inky blackness of the sky with a new moon, and you just see the twinkling stars above you. That is sort of like a little bit of silence, a little bit of an echo muted out from the altars as people are humming their prayers. It doesn't seem to be anything calling out to you.
All right. Well, I'll sit here and hope then.
Right. Siggers, give me a knowledge religion or a knowledge religion. As you go into the study
Sure.
and are allowed to read through the books. And in the meantime, Father Santa sort of goes to a side room to.
Damn,
Wow. Father Santa sort of leaves the room to go to his personal bedroom so that he can have a chat with Grigori without bothering you. Sigus, you sort of are reading through this really dense, thick history book about ailments and pandemics that have occurred in Galarian. And one of them is like several breakouts of ghoul fever. And what you do find is that while the main vector of transmission has, or like the explosive transmission, like where it starts to go out of control, has been the ghouls themselves not being properly taken out. What you do find is that the problem with that sort of theory is that it doesn't explain how the first ghoul comes about. And after cleansing an area of ghouls, there seems to be like over the years, every now and then another ghoul will show up, and like the region will already be on high alert to ghouls, so they will be trained to take them out, and that's why it doesn't happen again where it grows into a pandemic. And some of the notes, which probably Santos didn't probably pay attention to, is that certain non active vectors have been shown to be related to ghoul fever, such as special types of moss and fungus that are able to carry the undead disease.
Got ya. Okay. I will make notes of that and keep an eye out for some funky moss and fungus.
Mm-hmm. Aside from that,
Everyone stay away from the earth.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna make a joke. Everyone stay away from the herbs. It
Right.
wasn't a great joke, I'll be honest.
Burn and pillage.
So, like, aside from that, there doesn't seem to be any further information on ghouls themselves that you might discern out of this book.
Okay. Yep. Figured it was worth a shot. Big brain.
Mm-hmm. All right. After that, are you heading to bed?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to sleep so I can prepare spells and be ready in the morning.
Trance, but yeah. All right. Red, go ahead and give me a fortitude save as you later in the night. So you're escorted by one of the.
Important question: did I get the D6 for the recap?
A D4 for the recap, which you did out of before we started recording, and also you have a +2 from the tonics and the help that you're getting from the assistants, the clergymen. So what happens is, as you've been left alone for a while, one of the trainees, the clerics in training, comes to pick you up and says, "Red, Mr. Red, I was told to bring you to one of the resting rooms. You follow me."
Oh, thank you. Oh, I was trying with the whole praying thing, but I think the gods haven't quite warmed up to me.
It takes a long time. I've been training myself for years to become a cleric, and well, the gods haven't granted me any gifts yet.
Maybe it's for the best, though. I mean, I don't know what I'd do with myself if I was religious. Anyway, let's go.
Right, this way, and like they lead you down an exit from the cathedral and into the long corridors of the attached building, which have several rooms, most of which are empty. And at the back, sort of very far back, you see probably where the private quarters for these clerics in trainings are. And they lead you to one of the empty rooms, which you see has already been prepared to house 4 people. And they show you to one of the beds and start bringing in some oils and tonics to drink. So go ahead and give me that fortitude save, Red.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple things on this. I am going to use that D4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to so we'll get that out of the way first. There. So there's a +1, which is super
Okay.
helpful. I'm gonna use my Charmed Life class feat to give me another +2.
I think you've already expended it today.
I
I
have
think you
3
have.
uses.
Oh, okay.
that's right.
He did expend 1 use during
Yeah, I did.
the original.
Yeah, and the
fight.
cart chase.
And the cart chase. Oh, okay. So this was like your last use. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that, and then I don't think I have anything else that can help, so I'm just gonna hope.
All right. So what's Charmed Life do for
Can you use panache?
So Charmed Life is a swashbuckler class feat. Basically, you add your charisma modifier, so mine's
Oh,
+2
okay. Yeah.
to it your saving throw.
So a very limited
Yeah.
a very
And
limited
you
paladin
have-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have uses of it equal to. Yeah, what is it? I
Oh,
think you. Oh, you pick it up at So I have 3 right now.
Right. Soren, that is a very good point. I thought it was only a +2. It is a +4 from getting medical attention. So you're getting a +4 from the tonics and oils.
Okay, so that's +6 total.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then the other
+7.
1.
Yeah, so
7.
+7.
Okay.
So
All
you
right,
gotta
so I got a total
whatever.
of +10 to this.
All right. Yeah, you're. It's gonna be a pretty good save. Don't roll a 1. Oh my fucking god!
Wow.
Ow.
You shouldn't
Oh.
let him roll just
Sandy.
because you said that.
Avada Kedavra just fucking jinxed you so
Sandy,
hard.
you had 1 job.
That was
Kidding.
That's 2
Ah.
ones back to back there too. Oof.
That's
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
All right, so
So that's a 14. No, not even a 14. That is a
11.
yeah, 11 total.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in that one.
I don't think it matters though, because I think you can crit fail saves.
Yeah, you
Yep,
can.
yep, you can, and sometimes it is worse if you crit fail. But in this case,
no.
you'll be fine, somewhat. So
Okay, what's the debuff?
so
The goober.
before we find out what happens to Red in the morning, we're gonna go over to Dorban and Robin. So you two had stopped for the night by the sort of roadside, about halfway about halfway back to Sandpoint. More like a third of the way.
Yeah.
You still have a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on horseback till you get to Sandpoint. But that being said, you had stopped, made a small encampment. No fire, so it was a little bit of a cold night. Robin, you were gonna stay up during the night to keep watch, correct?
Yeah.
Give me first a perception check. All right. So it doesn't like you hear every now and then like the very distant echoes through the night of the ghouls going, but they don't seem to ever come in your direction. They seem to echo and pass by. And I'm sort of vocalizing it very loudly, but it sort of sounds as a whisper in the distance.
Gotcha.
Very pale. Very soft echo. That being said, as the night is starting to come to an end, and you see the darkness of the sky above you start to turn colors and slowly take in those sort of crisp golden hues in the horizon. You hear the pitter patter of the nearby raven as it sort of comes up to you and is walking on the floor, which is not very common for birds.
It's a nice morning. He decided to go for a walk.
Yeah, it sort of sits at your feet, and you see that it's sort of holding something on its mouth that looks like a crisp golden coin, and it sort of just drops it on your feet and then takes off.
I'd also just like to point out that video I just linked has been relevant far more frequently than it probably should be relevant. I posted like 5 times, and it always makes sense. So he drops. What did you say? Like a coin, a gold coin?
It looks like a gold coin. Like you sort of spotted it on the corner of your eyes because you heard the blap 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 blap, dink, blap blap, as it takes off. If you kneel down to pick it up and as you sort of hold it in your fingers, you see it is. At first glance, it looks like a gold coin, but it has sort of a sheen to it that makes you think it's maybe an electrum. Sort of like a not quite right color of gold. It has that sort of little bit of silver perhaps into it. And it has the symbol of the raven on one side and a pointed star on the other.
8 star.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 extra.
It looks
I wonder if that's
nothing.
good or bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look at all like the seven-pointed star that you've seen so many times before. Sort of looks like two eight-pointed stars superimposed on each other.
I mean, he'll appraise it, I guess.
Yeah. Give me an appraisal check. It looks like a rare print coin. You're not certain from where it is. You've never seen one like it. It is probably made out of 50, maybe 40-60 gold silver. So it would be an electrum. If it
Alright.
is if it has any kind of collector's value, it might be worth more. But as far as you're concerned, it's half a gold.
All right, he'll pocket it, I guess, and be like, wave to the crow and be like, thanks, I guess.
It's sort of like pretty far gone at this point, because it took off as soon as it dropped the coin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I have this, but I guess I have it. I mean, Dorbin's, a cleric of Abadar. He might be able to identify it, but I mean, I'll let him sleep a little bit longer.
Yeah. Right. A few more hours are gonna go by before it is just barely the crack of dawn. You start to see that sort of half of the silhouette of the sun breaking the horizon, and about that time is when Dorbin, very groggily, very tiredly, would be waking up as you've gone to bed pretty late the previous night. The Dorbin, you wake up, you see the dawn is breaking. It is around this time that you've been training lately to wake up and praise Abadar.
All right. Well, I'll wake up and do my morning shenanigans, praying,
Right?
preparing spells.
Yeah. So as the prayers to Abadar echo in the Sandpoint hinterlands, Red, you wake up and it is very early in the morning for you. Uh, it is strange to be awake at at this early an hour, and you feel in pain the moment you take a breath. And as soon as you try to turn, because you feel that sort of ache on the side of your chest, it goes like, no, that doesn't feel quite right. Like your muscles are straining to move. And I would like you to um, mark down that you have taken 2 points of constitution and dexterity damage.
Oh. That's not good. Okay.
So as you sort of feel that burn and that ache in your body, you sort of look at your chest, which you're not wearing the shirt that you recall having gone to bed with. You're instead have been bandaged over, and you can feel like there's a little bit of a slight wetness to the bandages. Sort of like there seems to be some kind of oil applied to them. But you can tell that it burns beneath those bandages.
Red'll just kind of gingerly use the other arm to kind of lift them up and see how bad it looks.
Your skin has turned pitch black, and there seems to be areas where it is turning sort of greenish blue, and it's slowly spreading from your original wounds and out through your body. And as you're sort of holding out the bandage on your shoulder away from you to see this, and you can tell like the bite was about halfway up your biceps, and the spread has reached your clavicle almost, your collarbone.
Shit. This does not look good for old Reddy boy. Okay. Yeah. He'll kind of, well, when someone comes to check on him, who I'm assuming someone is going to
So as you
point
look
that out.
yeah, so as you look around the room, you see that Father Santos is on a chair nearby, but he's fast asleep on the chair itself.
Oh, did I heal overnight?
Yeah,
Was that
you would normally heal what you normally heal, but after whatever you heal, you have taken 2 points of Constitution and Dexterity damage.
And that is normally level plus con or something?
Level plus
Mod?
con in HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what you usually recover.
Okay, sorry. I'm used to having Dorbin around, so I don't normally have to do that. Father, I
Oh, Red, you're. How are you feeling this morning?
well, is there any chance you can just, take the arm and this will go away? Because this has gotten a lot worse.
I'm afraid I'm not certain I could handle that operation, but perhaps. Let me see what the state of. And like he's reaching out to take off the bandages.
Red will kind of let him do that.
Yeah, like as soon as he pulls back and sees that the spread has reached over to your collarbone, he sort of tightens the bandages back up, and he goes to fetch some more oils. He says, "I'm very sorry to say this, Red, but I don't think cutting your arm off at this point would suffice."
All right, I was worried you say that. Shit. Jabril always did say I was too reckless. Okay, do you know where Sigus and Silara went? I gotta go see them.
Give me just 1 second, because Torben did point something out.
That is a very valid.
Yeah, he should be able to cure partially cure the symptoms of the disease, even though he can't cure the disease.
Yeah.
I will 100% take symptoms at this point.
Yeah, so he brings him some oils. This doesn't have a component. No, it doesn't. Okay, so
Nope.
yeah, he applies some oils, and then he puts his hands together and starts to pray over you, Red. It says, "Just give me 1 moment. I can deal with these symptoms, and if I can't help cure the disease."
Well, I again appreciate the help, although I don't know how much help more praying is going to do at this point.
So he puts his hands together, he closes his eyes, and he sort of is, his body is turned to you. He goes, "Desna, we ask for your forgiveness and your gifts in these trying times. Please grant us the strength we need to move forward." And as he does, you see his hands sort of being wreathed in golden light. And as he pulls out of his prayer, he reaches out with both hands and places them on your shoulder, the one that is most infected. And you're gonna hang on. Okay, you're gonna heal. Which would you prefer, Constitution or Dexterity to be healed first?
Dex.
Okay, so you're gonna heal for 1d4 of. Well, you recover your Dexterity, so you feel your muscles sort of lithe up, but you still feel that sort of burn, even though you've recovered that flexibility in your shoulder. You feel your flesh sort of become a little bit softer, not quite as affected by the rigor mortis that is now starting to take effect. But you still feel like with each movement, you feel that sort of burning sensation. I'm afraid that is all I can give you for right now.
Whoa, that did more than I thought it was gonna do. Actually, aside from the burning, my arm feels like it can still do what it should be able to do. So there's that at least. Thank you.
Good. I need to conserve my strengths. Good.
Oh, for sure. I'm not going to be the only one who gets bit by these things, unfortunately. So,
That is what I am sadly foreseeing.
well, we'll go try and cut the head off this thing and clean up the place a bit.
Yes, that would be our best chance of survival. Yes. Good luck on that, Red. He stands up.
And to you as well.
He nods as he's standing up and starts to head out, sort of leaving you to dress back up and get ready for the day. Right. On that note, Sigis, Salara, you two would be waking up very soon, probably in the next 30 minutes to an hour, or at least Sigis, you would be finishing your daily preparations of spells. Yeah, so Red and Dorbin, as you two finish your preparations for the day, where are you headed next, or what are you doing?
You mean Torben and Robin?
What did I say? Dorbin and Red?
Red and
Yeah,
Robin.
so Dorbin and Robin, yes.
Okay.
Heading back to Spain Point.
Straight
Yeah, I think
back.
so.
All right.
I'm gonna double check the knots on the guy's bindings that we captured, just to make sure that still.
Give me a heal check.
Hey.
As you give him another look over, he seems to be in good health, but he does have a little bit of a gash on his back that seems to be pretty recent, and it looks like it's like either a blade or a claw that went through his back. And you sort of spot it as you tighten the knots on his wrists that he has behind his back, and you see that it has been bleeding a little bit during the night. You can see that his shirt has stained red.
Does it look like it is like that he's got the disease that I've now treated a couple times?
No, it doesn't seem to be the disease. However, it does seem to be in pretty poor state.
Alright. I'll bandage it up.
Okay.
He doesn't bleed everywhere.
All right.
I don't want to heal him and wake him up yet.
All right. Then after that, after you've taken your time to bandage the unconscious thief, or at least ransacker back up, you mount up and head back to Sandpoint.
Yeah, I'll also show Dorbin the coin, and I'll be like, "Hey, Dorbin, I was wondering if you might know something about this, because like, my dad owned Bank, but like, I've never seen this coin before."
Have I ever seen this coin before?
Give me a knowledge. What the fuck would it be?
I mean, if a 10 doesn't work, I likely don't. Well,
Okay.
unless it's religion.
No,
That's the
then
only one I'm trained in.
give me a knowledge religion then.
Okay. Hey.
Okay, yeah, no, you've never seen a coin like this. Though you've heard of like special coins being used as like either messages or like a representation of some kind of award or similar.
Alright. I'll share that with Robin.
The Raven gave me this.
Oh.
Maybe I won this.
Possible.
Neat.
I'll use detect magic. Is that magical?
Yeah, it's magical.
Oh shit.
As you take 30 rounds, or like a minute, as you're concentrating on the coin and trying to decipher the magics on it, give me a spellcraft if you have it trained.
I do not have it trained.
Oh no.
I only get one skill point.
Oh, no.
I literally have one skill point and just 4 different skills. Pardon? Whatever.
Hang on, give me just a second.
That is rough.
Yeah. Heaven Lowent sucks dick.
You can detect its school of magic at the very
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, so you
It's
detect.
universal.
Oh yeah, hang on, give me 1 second. No, it's not universal.
No, it's not.
Trying to figure out which one it is though.
Well, it's not Wish then.
It is most definitely not Wish.
Dang, I really could have used one of those right now.
I mean, I was expecting it to be some
I
kind
wish
of
all
like
these fucking
skewed
ghouls
Wish.
would be gone.
Yeah. I wish all ghouls were just gone.
Would that work?
And
Like out of like, how crazy are wishes?
mean,
They are
as powerful as a 9th level spell, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. You couldn't take out an entire species with a single wish, no. But you could, for instance.
And this thing.
You could ban undead from the Sandpoint.
Yeah, for instance, yeah, that would be doable. However, Dorman, this detects as being a strong conjuration item.
Oh. Well, let's. Or Robin, what?
Huh.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it. Maybe if you like figure out what the trigger word is, be able to like summon. That may be useful later.
Can I like? I don't want to activate it, but can I roll the UMD to figure out how I could activate it? I'd assume it would be probably flipping the coin, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sure.
I don't know.
Give me a UMD to see if you can decipher the command word on it. It looks like the only thing that you could do with this coin is either speak a command word or flip it, and that's pretty much the two actions that you can figure out could be related to this.
All right. Well, I don't need that just this second, so I'm just gonna stick it back in one of my many pockets.
All right. Note down that you have a raven / star coin.
Yep, did indeed.
Okay.
Which is a brooch of death.
Come again.
Watch, it's like a brooch of death.
Oh.
If you keep it on yourself for 24 hours, you just die.
Troll.
No. So
Guys, we said don't take candy from strangers.
But you didn't say don't take coins from ravens.
Yep.
So you
Yeah,
pocket
that's true.
you pocket the magical coin, mount up, and then take off to Sandpoint. And I think it's about the same time as Salera and Sigis have finished their preparations and probably are waiting around or going to see Red. Which of the two happens, guys? Are you guys waiting for Red to show up, or is Red coming over to see you? Sorry, you going to see Red.
Yeah, I figure we would go over to see Red.
This is gonna swing by the bakery early in the morning and buy 2 loaves of bread before meeting up, though.
Hey, get some rolls.
I love the fact
Good
that.
old bread boy.
All right, so you go by the bakery, you find once again, and I'm blanking out again if it was Linda or Lisa, and one is backstory, the other one is the baker. Red, which one is it?
It's Linda, I think. That's the baker.
Okay, so you swing back by the big. I need to have a note at hand that tells me the difference between those two because it has happened more often than I was expecting. So you swing by the bakery and once again you see Linda, who's sort of not exactly like hard at work. She seems to be a little bit more lazy today because it's a little bit later into the morning, and she's decorating some pastries, adding a little bit of sugar on top and adding a little bit of a glaze of syrup.
Yeah. Six is not gonna really get a chat. He's gonna go. He's gonna buy 2 packs of those scones and a loaf of bread.
All right, yeah. You carry out. You come in go. It's like, I want this, this, that. And as you sort of like were waiting like 2 seconds outside, Sigis comes out with a large pack of baked goods. That would end up costing you 2 silver. No, actually 1 silver.
Okay.
1 silver.
I will pay it.
Yep.
Out of my
And
personal
I'll just
spending.
like reach my hand and grab a scone without even saying anything. Like,
Yes.
gimme, gimme.
And I will eat a scone, and then we go to pick up Red.
All right. Yeah, you guys go uphill towards the cathedral, and sure enough, by the time that you
Guys, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, especially when it's all bread.
Yeah, sure enough, as you guys are going through the center area of the cathedral, you probably spot Red coming out of the sort of bedroom area, and Red, you were probably like still struggling a little bit to finish strapping up your armor.
Yeah, he's like tugging the front of his chain shirt around and trying to get his buckler settled on his arm properly.
Yeah, you like with every movement that you do to pull and strap and like tighten the straps, you feel again that burn in your muscles.
Morning. I was wondering if I'd have to go find you sleepyheads or I'd be heading over there.
How you
Ooh.
feeling?
Santos took good care of me. My arm's working proper. I think it's gonna be fine.
Sigus will hand him a scone and be like, "You look like shit," and then he's gonna take another scone and start eating it.
Well, at least I got bread and looked like shit.
So Solera and Sigis, Red hasn't noticed this, but you guys can spot it immediately. He's got like pretty severe bags under his eyes, and his skin is looking a little bit paler than you remember. And then he's saying something because he's already pretty pale to begin with.
He's starting to go translucent.
Yeah. So when Sigis said you look like shit, you sort of was pretty accurate.
I think I'm on the up and up though. Like I feel like Santos was able to do some helpful magic. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, let's go find Dorbin and Robin.
Yeah,
Before
we're heading to the manor, right? The one that's haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we was on the same page.
Yeah, but let's hopefully we'll run into them. My plan is to also, once we hit that fork in the road, we go down one and send Korax for a while down the other, and if he finds them, he'll tell them where we're going, and if not, after a while, he'll loop back to us.
I've done the road to Magnamar once or twice. I think there's a fork down by where the farm Korax to kind of do the loop over by the well.
I think
there.
I think Korax can fly, like he's quicker than us.
No, I know he is. So I'm saying like at the Cougar Creek split off, he heads towards Cougar Creek towards the well, and we just head down the highway.
And he, if he runs into, he'll either tell us when he comes back. He'll either be like, "I didn't find them," and like we just don't know, or he did find them, and he'll tell them where we are, and then he'll tell us, and then we'll go meet up with them.
Yeah.
All right. Are you locking in that as your plan then?
I think so.
All right. Then.
Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, we need to make sure we let Grigori and everyone know that we're heading out before we leave.
Yeah.
But
is Grigori coming with us, or is
what the plan is? I think he needs to be here.
He needs to be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He did explain the previous night that he had to stick around and help prepare the defenses because he's sort of the most experienced.
He's the only one who's really fought undead, right?
Yep. Right, so you guys saddle up and start to head out. And about 30 minutes down the road, once you have crossed the first river and are about to get to the Cougar Creek, you sort of are coming face to face with a uh, somewhat well-known horse, known as Fish, and you do see,
Notice fish.
yeah, Dorvin leading the horse, and Robin either on foot or on its back, and you do see like the trot that known as Fish has is a little bit like barely uneven, but still it's a little bit uneven. Like,
Huh.
I like
Well,
wave.
that was easier than
Hey.
I thought it was going to
Oh
be.
my god, you're alive! Yay!
Yeah, we're fine.
Robin's on foot. He just like sprints
I
up
don't have to.
and is
Yeah.
like, "Hey guys, we didn't die."
Yay!
We're all good.
I thought
happened?
the well killed you. I thought when you blew yourselves up.
Hey, Red,
Oh
come
my
here for a
God,
second.
no. But you know what? That shit
What?
was filled with a fucking hive of shape-shifting fish people. So I'm glad we fucking threw a nuke in there.
Wait. So there's more monsters than just the.
Oh yeah, there's probably about
Oh.
50 of the fish people, and we've got probably about over 100 ghouls, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit
Okay.
you with cure disease.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey!
So we see Dorban sort of bringing Nona's Fish over to right next to where Red is on horseback. Reaches out with one hand, and we see a burst of light go through his arm, reach out to Red, and as it spreads through your body, Red, you feel it sort of burn for a moment, like intense burning sensation. And as you look down to your arm, you sort of feel it
Dorban
scorching
does ha-
heat.
He.
Yeah.
Come again?
He has to beat the DC of the disease.
Oh,
okay.
it is a very good point.
Which he does.
There you go.
No, that is a
He's
level.
clapping.
That is a caster level check. I think it's a.
Yeah, he's fine.
Hang on. Is it a caster level check?
I think
Mhm.
Here.
Versus the DC of the disease.
Hang on. I just want to double check.
That's fair.
Remove disease. You must make a caster level check against the DC. Okay, yeah, no. So as I was saying, you feel that spread of energy reach your arm, and it starts to heat up, and then suddenly you feel it scorching, like you just put it in boiling water, and it hurts for just a moment, and then you feel it sort of that boiling sensation fades away, and you feel your flesh sort of supple again, which is a very weird adjective for this, but it feels soft, supple, and you can move your arm just fine, and you feel your lungs sort of breathing a little bit fresher air almost, and like as you do, you sort of realize that maybe it had reached your lungs a little bit as well.
Oh, let me know what you're gonna do before you. I mean, I feel better, but holy shit.
I figure do you have any of the symptoms as well, or
I mean, I like feel super well rested or hearty or anything, and I'm still a little hurt from yesterday.
You still have 2 points of
Yeah,
2 points of constitution
mechanically, I
damage.
got the 2 points of con
Yeah.
damage down on him.
there? Now your con's fixed too.
Yep.
Bam.
Oh,
So once
Literally,
again,
cleric.
all my spells today, Dorvin's just thinking like, do when I get back to town, I'm gonna have to cure Red, and then I'm gonna have to cure the older boy, and then they're both fucked up. Like all three of them are fucked up real bad, so I'm gonna have to use lesser restoration at least a couple times.
Oh, well, that worked.
Dorban,
Okay.
the real hero, holding the
yeah.
party together.
So we see once again Dorvin sort of, as you're explaining that you're still feeling a little bit under the weather, prepares another prayer, and like another flash of energy, of positive energy, channels through him and into you, Red, and you feel your heart start to beat a little bit stronger as blood pumps through your body, and you whoa, you feel that sort of rush of energy as you suddenly feel more awake, more ready for the day.
Oh, okay. Well, that one was better than still. Let me know before you're gonna cast one of those.
Why?
Red, stop being a dick.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, you need to stop
Dang.
complaining. Just
dang.
fucking
I'm
stab
not
him with a
Yeah.
wand.
Yeah, like,
Slap him, stab him.
Okay,
There
yeah.
yet? Stop fucking complaining.
Standing by Robin.
So-
We're just chirping Red.
Dorban has suddenly become a one-man
Offer
pit
Red
stop
Robin a
for disease. He's bing bing. Red is
Charge more.
tip-top shape.
Yeah, Red's full capacity. Well, thank you.
problem.
Okay. I kind of feel like I just had a lot of booze, except I'm not drunk. Wow.
I mean, you should feel great.
No, I mean I do, but like you know how you get that? There's that point when you've had a couple drinks and then you get a whole lot of energy and think everything's a good idea.
I think we're different kind of drunks.
Yeah.
Huh.
I
I get
get it.
sleepy, dude.
Okay.
Like, I think what he's meaning to say is thank you.
Yeah, I did say thank you.
He did. He did say
I
thanks.
said that right before.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you two again.
Yeah.
I'm very glad you're not dead. I'm a little pissed off that now there's angry fish people too that are probably going to turn into angry fish ghouls. Knowing, but on the bright side, we found out the Foxglove Manor seems to be. So we think that's where the ghouls are coming from.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, we caught a thief.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Oh.
we kind of
I'll pat the back of the horse.
Yeah, we kind of do need to make a quick
Yeah.
pit stop at Sandpoint to throw him in jail, and then Dorban, you can check out that kid, make
Yeah.
sure he's okay.
I just tie him to a
It's
tree
very-
and tell the guards to come get him.
No, because the
No,
ghouls will
I-
kill me.
I mean, I want to go back to same
Okay.
kid because I know that this is beyond Santos. So.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, guys, Cougar Creek, we found ghouls there. Do we want to check out like the houses like around Cougar Creek as well? Like these three?
I
think honestly, with the amount of ghouls, like it makes sense to go try and check out the source, and because like they're spreading quicker than we can deal with them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
speaking of
so
amount of ghouls, there's a lot. There's like 80-ish.
Probably 100, because we didn't
That's
check
too-
the
Yeah.
south farm. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the ones
yeah.
we came. There's
Okay.
a shit ton in Egan's Wood, and then there was a bunch at the house south of Wisherswell.
So I guess you're gonna need to make
Oh,
a
yeah.
really big pit.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Really
We
big.
came real close to dying there.
yeah,
Well,
Dorban
no-
knows how to ride a horse.
God,
I
yeah.
never expected that from him, but he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Wait, a dwarf that rides.
I'm gonna be
that
honest
knows
with you.
how
I
to
feel
ride
like it
horses
was
well? What
complete
the
and
fuck
total
is
luck.
this?
I don't
I
know.
blame Abadar, honestly.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that was the blessing of Avatar. Is the only reason
Yeah.
that I made it here.
Isn't he a god of like transportation
Travel.
roads?
Yes,
and...
he is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Yeah.
why. Yep. Robin's just like, cheers, mate. Appreciate that.
All right. Well, I guess about face.
Is anybody else hurt?
How?
Robin
good.
has a scratch on his knuckle. That's literally it.
Caved in that
Um,
guy's skull?
No.
Yeah. Also, this
He's had a
guy,
single point of damage for over 24 hours now.
this guy looks very, very broken. Is he alive still?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He just has like a softball size just bump on the back of his head.
Well, and the back of his clothes are
I mean,
covered in blood too.
nah,
Like, was
I
that
treated
you
that already.
guys?
No, no.
No.
I think that was. It looks like
my favorite
he
point
may
of
have been
that whole
attacked by a
encounter
thing.
was before Robin found out he was a thief to knock him out. He was actively robbing the house himself.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed. Only the gods knew.
Yeah, the gods who you're trying to get on the good.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm stealing for the sake of the people, though. So
Are you?
I mean, he
Yeah.
did grab like clothes and children's toys.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
that's why Dorban's okay with him having extra stuff in his bag. That's something that Dorban pays attention to.
yep.
Dorban, at some point, I I don't know if you can do anything about it or if Father Santis can, but I still have damage wisdom.
Well, you should have healed some from resting.
But
You
not
heal
A point.
2
A point
points
to
if you have
each.
someone treating you, but
Well, I think it's a point each for each stat, isn't it?
Yep.
I thought that
Yeah.
I thought
If
that
it
when you take damage to your constitution or wisdom, resting doesn't heal
Drain.
no,
Drain.
it's
it.
drain that doesn't
Drain.
heal. So it's
Yeah.
if it's just damage, it heals 1 point per day.
or 2
Gotcha.
if you have someone treating you. For
Actively treating 8
Mhm.
hours. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I don't have it. I hadn't had it for a while, but I was, acting like I did
We'll get rid of it.
What did you take it from?
a while ago.
The
Was it the
shadow,
devil?
for sure.
Oh, it might have been the devil, the sample,
And then
or
the
Yeah.
wisdom, yeah, maybe.
yeah, or
Yeah.
or the pixie.
Also, can we delete the goober buff, or should we just keep it for a while?
Just keep that
just
around.
keep it around.
That's gonna. That shit's coming back for
All
sure.
right.
Okay, well, I'm glad I said something because I thought
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was supposed to keep it.
So where are you guys? What are you guys doing?
Heading back to Sandpoint.
I think
Yeah.
we're headed
Yeah.
back to Sandpoint.
Okay, so it takes you about 45 minutes to get back to Sandpoint on horseback, as known as
So what
Fish.
did you do to my?
We might want to grab fresh horses, or a fresh horse,
You broke
if possible.
the
None
horse.
is fish. Oh, none is fish is, by the way, completely fine because I did completely heal him.
Yeah.
Like
They're
I
just,
bandaged
like,
and
They're
yeah.
moving at full speed.
may be, like,
they
tender,
just
I guess,
they,
yeah.
they just have like a weird
Oh, okay.
like uneven footing. Like they are trying to avoid putting weight on it, even though it is healed.
And there's a bandage around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared.
Well, he sprained his ankle, and I treated it once we were done running from the ghouls, so he's fine.
Well, I'm going.
Did you see what I just did to
back-
you? Do you think I can handle a sprained ankle?
No, I believe you can handle a sprained whatever, but I am taking over driving this horse.
I mean, I'm 100% okay with that.
All right.
Right. So you switch drivers on your horses and start heading back to Sandpoint. Were you about to say something, Dorvin?
Nope, you're good.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys get to Sandpoint, and sure enough, like, it doesn't seem to be nothing has changed in the past hour. However, like for Dorvin and Robin, since you last saw Sandpoint, you do spot that the shores on both sides of the Tarandarok River are lined with wooden stakes and barricades. There is a pyre by the outside side of the bridge leading from the nobles area and into Sandpoint proper. You do spot some wooden constructions very hastily put together, extending the sawmill. And you spot like one of the guards is standing guard on that sort of wooden platform outside the sawmill with a torch sort of put out, but by their side, and a longbow in their hands, sort of looking out into the distance. So the town seems to be a little bit more on high alert.
Makes sense.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fucking have a reason to be.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So you
Gregory took care of the defense.
Yeah, you're slowed down as the guards sort of stop you, make sure that everyone's recognized, and like they let you through as soon as they realize who you are. Come on in. Go on right ahead. Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
Right.
Fucked up.
Hell yeah. It's a fucking hellhole out there.
I'll stop at one of the guards. Do you guys have a runner to
Uh,
deliver messages?
Yes, but for inside the town, yes. If you need to
Yeah.
send a message out of town, we do have ravens for that.
No, just in town. I just need to get it to the captain of the guard.
Sure. What message do you need delivered?
I'll hand him a piece of paper and I say, just don't read it. Just give it to the captain.
Right, and he's
And it'll
gonna
have the numbers and locations of all of the
of all the ghoul
ghouls.
spottings. Okay.
And then also the information on the fish people,
Okay,
with
yeah.
them being able to change into other people and have different voices and stuff.
Okay. He'll grab the paper, pass it along to the next guard, and go like, "All right, Charlie, go get that to Baylor. Yeah, go." And you take off sprinting. You can tell like Charlie seems to be a pretty lithe little kiddo who's uh, not wearing armor but does sport the colors of the guard. But like, they take off.
All right, and then I'm gonna head to the cathedral.
All right. What about everyone else? Are you just tagging along with Dorban?
I mean, I'll take the unconscious guy to the jail.
All right.
You want to go to the cathedral?
If no one else is going with Robin, Red will accompany him to drop off Mr. Unconscious.
Also, Sigis, can you also come with us?
Sure. Also, I don't know if you're keeping it as a secret, but if you want me to take a look at that coin.
Yeah, that's
have
pretty
to
much what
ask
I
me,
asked
though.
you to come with me for. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So, what about Celera, who's the only person who hasn't said who they're following?
I'll probably join Dorban.
Okay. So the party once more splits in half. Dorban and Celera, you go to the cathedral. You arrive and see that Father Santos is still awake, somehow attending to people and making sure that the ceremonies are carried out in all of the different altars dedicated to the six gods. Uh, and you do spot that the cathedral seems to be pretty packed today. It is getting to be about 11 in the morning, so people are starting to trickle in for the noon ceremonies. Um, but yeah, like pretty packed. Father Santos is going from one end to another. What would you like to do here?
Well, I guess I forgot that there's also a hospital. I would be trying to find the boy.
All right. So you're not gonna spot them in the general area, but there is sort of Saler would know this, that there is an area behind the cathedral where Red was being hospitalized. So she could take you there if she wanted to.
I mean, I'd make it known that. I
Follow
mean, I already made it known that that's what I'm coming back to town for, really.
Okay.
To help
Then
out the family that we saved.
Yeah, you guys are heading towards the back, and once you reach the door, one of the cleric apprentices sort of stops and says, "Sorry, what are you? Are you coming to visit someone, or?"
Well, we rescued a family out in the farmland. The boy had a disease.
Oh
I've
yeah,
come
yeah.
to cure it, and then
Um,
also see if I can help a little bit with the
Follow me then. And he unlocks
rest
the
of
he unlocks the door from the outside, opens up and leads you down the long hallway and into one of the small bedrooms, which has once again four beds, each of which is holding one of the rescuees. Um, Though one of them like seems to be undone, and you would expect Lily to be in that one, but she's not there. She seems to be sitting by the older woman's bed, who is currently asleep. And Lily's head is sort of placed on the bed itself, and she seems to be asleep, sitting down there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go to the boy.
Yep, he seems to
And
be pretty in pretty bad condition. His
All right.
skin has turned almost completely black. His arms, his wrists, and legs are strapped with leather handcuffs and chained to the bed itself. Like
Alright.
the necrotic tissue has reached the jawline of his jawline, and like you can tell that his ears have turned a little bit gray and darkish already as well.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cast remove disease.
All right.
19
Give
for the caster level check.
caster
I
level
mean,
check.
it's the
Alright.
same thing for SR as caster
You
level.
you feel something change in the kid. You're not certain if it has been if it's the disease that was cured or something else, but you can tell that your spell had an effect on them.
And then I'm gonna go ahead. He's the one who had it the longest. I'm gonna hit him with a lesser restoration.
All right.
Ugh,
Which attribute are you trying to cure?
con.
Okay, yeah. So you let out a long prayer to Abadar, and once it finishes, you feel that energy reach from your center, from your core, out through your arms and into the kid's body. First, dispelling that disease that had taken hold of him, and then start to repair some of the damage that it had caused. And you see the sort of tendril-like nature of that necrotic growth reaching his jawline start to recede a little bit. His ears turn back into a more healthy, reddish tint, like a sunburnt skin, and the tissue starts to recede further and further back into his body, but it's still very present, and it reaches over the collarbones and touches the neck.
Now, from what I can see, does it look like he's worse or the mom who was at 1 con last time I checked?
Um,
She slept.
the mother seems to be better than him still.
Okay.
It's not the mother, it's the aunt, but yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit him with another one.
Alright.
There we go.
So you see the necrotic tissue recede further and further, and you see the fingers, the fingertips start to turn white as the tissue starts to pull away from his hands, up his arm, and you see the sort of natural reddish tint to his skin return as his body starts to regain some of that constitution, that health that he had lost. And you can spot the same happening with his legs, but the center of his body, his torso, where he has been bitten, is like the general lower abdomen area and like lower torso. He's still like infested with that sort of black tissue.
A sigh of borderline exhaustion already.
Yep.
Using up a lot of my divine power, I'll go pat the girl on the head, tell her that her fine.
She sort of turns her head. You can tell like the hand of the woman was resting on the kid's head, and she sort of turns her head, and, like groggily opens her eyes. And, what? She sort of starts to wake up, rubs her eyes. Or did something happen?
Yeah, your family's most is on the course to be completely healthy. Probably shouldn't take a week and everybody tip-top shape.
She looks up to you, like you can see that she doesn't quite understand the words that you've just spoken. She sort of goes like, are they good then?
Yeah.
She sort of reaches out and grabs you in a hug. That even though you're a dwarf, right, and you're not particularly large, she still can't sort of reach around you and like completely embrace you in a hug. But she does hug you from the side. Like, thank you.
I'll give her a full-on hug back.
Oh.
Obviously not like a crushing hug,
Yeah.
as dwarves do. I'd be as gentle as I possibly.
Yeah, you can feel like even though she seems to be doing much better than the other two, she's still very frail.
Yeah.
You can feel that sort of the flesh on her bones is very very little. Like she more so than just the disease, she seems to be a little bit malnourished. And like you grab her, she sort of feels very frail in your arms, and then she lets go and goes like, I think I think I'm gonna go to bed again.
Yeah, get your
Can you take me to bed?
her up or to her bed.
Do you walk her over, and she sort of tries to climb onto her bed? The beds here, just to clarify, are pretty high, and she's struggling a little bit. You probably will need to help her up.
Yeah, I was literally planning on picking her up and lifting, setting her down into her bed.
Yeah, so you pick her up. She weighs nothing pretty much, and you
Yeah.
deposit her in the bed. She grabs her own the sheets and sort of tucks herself in, and goes like almost immediately she falls back asleep.
Feels much better. They're all gonna be okay.
Good job, Dorbin.
That was rough, honestly. I don't like not being able to save people.
Well, you just saved everyone, so
I mean, not everybody had the other friends, unfortunately. Too late.
but you saved all the people that we possibly could.
Yeah.
To all of this,
Now what?
as the two of you are talking about it, you do spot a familiar face in the corner of the room who is completely passed out in a chair by the kid's bed. Who's like you do see Maester Grump, who was in the room, like has his hat sort of tilted forward, covering his eyes as he's sitting on the chair in the corner of the room. But yeah, now what, Celeria? What now?
Now what?
I'm gonna write a quick note saying, cured son's disease. Everybody should be in good shape now. All they need now is time, treatment of the necrotic damage, and I'll just sign my bottom. Put the piece of paper like in a pocket or something, like in his hand.
All right.
He's sleeping. I just pretty much set it on him.
Yeah, you can sort of slip it into his hands, which he sort of is holding one hand on top of the other and resting against his chest. So there's a little bit of a crevice in those hands. Yeah, you can put it in there. Right. So in the meantime, Red Robin and Sigis, and I can't believe I keep doing the Red Robin. Red Robin Sigis, you reach the garrison. The kid Charlie seems to have somehow managed to beat you there. So you do see Baylor outside, sort of directing some men and calling out a change of shift to bring in some guards and some more volunteers to have a chat. And he's sort of standing outside and waiting for everyone to make their way into the garrison. Robin. Right. Good to see you. Any news aside from the report that you sent in?
Well, Robin's got a live one for you.
Yeah, so I found this thug mucking about the farmhouses that we were trying to rescue people from, and he was straight up just robbing the place blind. So I knocked him the fuck out, and I decided that maybe I should throw him in jail.
Yep, I'll take care of that. And he sort of goes over to the horse, picks them up, and puts them over the shoulder like it weighs like a sack of feathers.
Sweet.
All right.
I've also got his belongings here, and Robin's gonna put it down on a desk inside.
Come on in.
He's gonna take the thieves' tools from the bag, and, like obviously in front of everybody, be like, he's not gonna need these anymore, and Robin's gonna take them. What else does he got?
You see like loose change, like loose gold, silver, and copper coins. You see a pot, a pan, like several sort of wrapped up bundles of food. You would have to unwrap it to see what the contents are, but you can tell from the smell that it is food. There are a couple knives. If you put it in there, there is the barbed wire bat.
Doesn't need that anymore.
Right.
The Walking Dead maze.
And aside from
Yeah,
that, you would find there's a couple flasks of oil, a hooded lantern, the thieves' tools, trying to piece together everything else, and then just an assortment of small trinkets that seem to have been stolen from different places. Like
most of this stuff's probably the people's who he was ransacking.
Yeah, so all this stolen stuff, I'm gonna say that we can donate it to the town, given that there's a problem. What is bail a thing here, Baylor? Ha, sorry.
Yeah, we do have payments for bails. You can also work your way out of debt from theft. We usually
what would be his
reserve
bail?
heavy punishments for the court in Magnamar. So, murder and kidnapping are usually deported to Magnamar for judgment.
All right, what would be his bail?
Given the current situation, should be around 5 gold pieces.
How much does he have on him?
7 gold pieces between his gold and silver and copper.
Robin's gonna take 5, hand it to Baylor, and be like, "Let him sleep in the jail cell, and when he gets out, have him help."
Fine. All right. I can't really argue with that. He sort of throws the coins into a little bit of a bin that is next to his desk and carries the man back into the. So he starts to go deeper into the garrison and then hands over the man to someone else to bring into.
Robin looks in this bin he just threw the money in.
There is a mixture of things in there.
Okay.
There's like a few coins. There's like pens, pencils. There's not pens because pens would be too advanced. There's a couple pencils. There's a quill, no ink. There are like trinkets. Is what you think of because it looks like a symbol of Sanray strapped into a cord of leather. And like little bits and pieces that it seems to be like whatever he doesn't need at the moment, he throws in there and then organizes at a later date.
Not bad. All right. So I'm taking this barbed bat. I'm assuming it's just a club that deals bludgeoning and slashing damage.
It is a club that deals puncture damage.
Okay. So it's basically a Morning Star. Does it is it masterwork? Can I tell?
No. No. This is in fact a fragile weapon.
Oh, dope. Okay, I'm gonna note that down. I'm gonna break this over somebody's head.
It's a what weapon?
A fragile weapon, which means yeah, if you now want it breaks.
It's like
shatters.
Got ya.
It's like all that goblin stuff that we found
Mm-hmm.
earlier.
Also,
got ya.
Sigus, weirdest thing happened. There's this raven, super talkative, not Korax, stopped by while we were getting the fuck away from all these guys, and this morning handed me this magic coin, and I was wondering if you know anything about it.
What?
I think it's
Sure.
Corbin said it might be like a trophy of some kind.
It looks like
Like-
a coin, not a trophy.
Well, it's not a
Talking
coin I've ever seen.
ravens.
Well, it's clearly a coin though.
Eh.
Biggest, like, I'm gonna be like, what kind of? I'm gonna try and figure like what are the different reasons like birds might be talking. Like the most common one would be like a familiar.
Usually,
Yeah, it could talk.
so
Smart. It had a master.
yeah. So Sigis, as you're like trying to go over the knowledge that you have of talkative animals, usually there's 3 reasons. Either it is the effect of a spell, such as like a spell that grants sentience, or a something akin to animal messenger, which grants the animal
Okay.
limited speech. It might have been a magical creature in the shape of a bird, or it could very well be a familiar. There are other reasons why they might speak, but those are like the three big ones.
Yeah. Okay.
It has a
Cool. Well,
strong
I'll.
conjuration aura also, so you might want to figure out what this is.
Sweet. Well, I'm gonna take the coin, and
Yep.
I'm gonna use detect magic.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
Um,
give me a spellcraft check.
Like
Because you
shit the
do.
bed on these rolls.
Oof. Right. So oh god.
I get +2 if I'm trying to identify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
give me
15.
one second. Oh, just barely. Okay. So. Oh, actually, no. Hang on. What am I saying? No, it's not even close.
Hold on, I can do it.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
I can
You-
roll.
Oh, you can also role play it later once the coin is set in your possession. So, Sigas,
Okay.
as you concentrate on this coin, you're like, yeah, this coin is magical. It has a strong conjuration aura. However, like the intricacy of the spells woven into it exceeds your current capacity. As you're trying, like, it
Okay.
feels like it should activate if you just flip it. That much you can tell. However, like what it might do is a little bit too complex.
I'll be like, I can't figure exactly what it is, but if we have a moment at some point, I can cast Identify. I just don't have it ready today. I'm also gonna like take a look and see like what value I can find in it, like if it gives any hints or what like the face are on the coin and how much it's worth.
Sure, give me knowledge, religion, and a knowledge, history.
I think he's got a praise too, right?
You can also appraise. As
Yeah.
well.
Knowledge, religion, knowledge, history,
Damn, son.
and praise.
Okay, so you're not certain if this coin has any kind of religious value. You've heard of religions using specially minted coins as mentioned as a trophy or a symbol of something. Um, you can tell that this coin doesn't have any historical value. Like it definitely isn't from Varizia. It definitely isn't from a Corvusa either. And it is definitely not Thessalonian. Like it doesn't have that kind of refinement to it. Uh, it is a silver and gold alloy coin, so it is an electrum. And judging
Okay.
from the quality of the engraving, it is most definitely like a collector's item.
Cool.
Hey.
I will
maybe
pass
I
on
need
that
to
information.
reset. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I was given this coin, so I may as well just keep it.
I would
Yeah, the only
say
thing
hold off
would,
on flipping it.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing
would
that.
would like the locate object that tracks things. Does that work if it's in a bag of holding? If it's in an extra dimensional
It does not.
space?
Nope.
It's in a different
Okay.
work.
Yeah, you might want to keep it in that just because we don't know who used it on, and we might not want them to track us with it somehow, potentially. So you might want to
Sure.
keep that in the bag of holding.
Do we want to say that I have the bag of holding?
Yeah, you can
I
hold,
think that's
hold on to it if you
Fanny
want.
pack.
I don't mind.
Of
Plus,
gold.
you got stickier fingers than I do.
Raven's Electrum. Dope.
All right. So with that out of the way, you guys, I think, are finished with your business at the garrison currently. Right.
Yeah. Well,
So
cathedral and find the other two.
right, yeah. So you head on out again. You head over to the cathedral, and there you meet Celera and Dorban as they have finished their business during the Aeld, and you sort of are meeting them at the entrance of the cathedral.
Done saving everyone in the town. Red's kind of like smiling as he says,
Red, you're cutting out a little bit.
"Oh, Sorry.
Maybe it's just
No,
a little
he's,
bit. Like
he's
the
cutting
end
for me too.
sentence trailing off.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
he's cutting out a lot, but I've been able to piece together the sentence for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I was saying. Red was saying he was asking if you were finished saving everyone in town, kind of giving you a ride. Let me just drop and reconnect.
Okay. Let's do a quick hold up. Let's wait for Red.
out of character. If I do a spellcraft check, would that give any more information than
If you beat the
what
DC, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Ye-
wasn't sure, like,
Like you can do it. Like you can
He-
totally do it.
Yeah, Sigus just rolled a 2 on his spellcraft.
I rolled a 2.
right, I know, but like then you had him do the knowledge religion and knowledge history, and so I wasn't sure like what additional
So-
information could be found from.
Yeah, so
I guess I'm just confused
That's
about
learning
the...
about the coin, right?
Yeah, so the difference
I
is
was trying to get clues
let me just quickly
based
explain
on
it.
what the coin looks like and less
Oh,
that. So, but you can definitely try.
yeah, so the difference between those checks is spellcraft will give information about the magical aspect of it. Knowledge religion will give you information about its relevance to religion, history to historical events, and then appraisal gives you information about the item as a mundane object and its value in the market.
It's gold
Gotcha.
value, basically.
Yeah, it's gold value.
Gotcha. I think I was just more confused about spellcraft versus like knowledge religion,
Yeah,
like
so
the difference between like.
yeah. So for
Gotcha.
instance, if
Okay,
you found, I'm just gonna give a weird example, but like if you found Excalibur out on the road, a spellcraft would tell you that Excalibur is a +5 holy corporeal blade, right? But it won't tell you that Excalibur is Excalibur. That would be a knowledge religion or a knowledge history check.
Okay, I gotcha.
An appraisal would tell you that it's worth a shitload of money.
Yeah, appraisal will tell you that it is worth an amount of money that is enough to buy a kingdom.
Don't know
And-
what it is, don't know what it does, but I know that it's worth a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
And history would tell you
Like
that it was
owning that
Arthur's
weapon
sword.
probably makes you a bigger target than
Yep.
anything, unless you like at our level. But anyways,
Oh, I'm glad that people didn't pick up on the joke that Excalibur is worth a kingdom's, because it is the sword in the stone, and
Yeah.
it literally is
Yeah.
worth a kingdom. Thank you, thank you. It
a
was a terrible
watering
joke.
pot distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
All right,
Help!
so
I'm being repressed.
all right, so back to the game, my
Singing
boys.
in the background. Yes.
All right, so the party has gathered back together at the entrance to the cathedral, and Red was calling out to Dorvin and Solera, making a joke, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Done saving the whole town yet, Dolbin?
Yeah,
All right.
mean,
well, you ready to
I'm pretty
cut
much the
head off
best,
this-
so.
Also, Sheik, did you get my message?
Not in the slightest.
Because it's relevant.
Mm.
We're gonna hold up
Oh,
for a
that's
second.
fair.
Yeah, we good?
Yeah. So it was just like if when I was learning about like that fungus and stuff, was that the same as when were you when you were doing all those drugs? Were you doing like funguses and mushrooms and things?
No.
It was moss, I think.
It was a spore.
It was what?
A spore.
Oh, okay.
So it was a fungus.
And that was not the same as the things I was learning about.
You don't know.
Probably not a good idea to ask me.
That's fair. That's what me and Robin were chatting.
Yeah. So basically, because he found out that ghoul fever can transmit through fungus, Robin brought up, oh yeah, Silera was She took drugs that were a
You
fungus.
fucking railing funguses.
So
So
maybe this
Hey.
entire plague spread because of the drugs.
it's fair.
But then wouldn't something have happened to me?
I mean, not necessarily. You
You
could've
passed
just-
your fortitude check.
or it could have
Yeah.
not affected that dose. It could have just not been in.
Something we should, if when we get back and have a little more time, it's definitely something to look into.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
Okay.
let's go try and head off this thing before it gets any worse.
Is Sandy not
Alright.
playing from like across the room?
No, he sounds perfectly fine to me. I think you might
Yeah,
need
okay.
to boost the volume from your end.
Yeah.
Please. All right.
It's all
So,
good.
what are you guys doing then? Are you heading out and down south?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So once again, you saddle up and leave Sandpoint. This time heading south. And what is your current final destination of this short journey?
I think we're
Fox.
looking for the manor.
Yeah,
Right.
the Foxglove man.
Yep.
So
So
you'll
figure
see.
out the key.
Yeah, you'll see that down on the very south western corner of the map is Foxglove Manor at the very end of Foxglove River. So it's going to take you a good 4 hours, in fact, perhaps 5 even, to reach the fork in the road where the Lost Coast Road breaks out into the passage over towards Foxglove Manor, and another hour to cover that distance.
Well, I was gonna say, did you want to stop? Because
At the flickering light.
lights here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we want to check to see what was
Yeah.
going on?
That's
Yeah,
a good
definitely.
call.
Yeah, we can do that.
Like
Right.
it's on the way.
All right.
Yeah.
So about 4.5 hours into your journey, it has been mostly uneventful. You have heard no animal sounds, however. Like you feel that sort of emptiness in the wilderness as you travel down south. You hear the cracking and creaking of the water as it goes down Cougar Creek and connects to the ocean, or the Gulf in this case. And as you continue down the road, as you sort of see Habe's Sanatorium sort of located there in the upper areas of the Assen Rise, you see perhaps a little bit of light as it's sort of trying to break through the early afternoon's sunlight. And once again, it sort of starts to get quieter and quieter the more south you head. And as you reach the crossroads, you can see now that it is very clearly a bright day. You see the fields spreading far and far, as far as the eye can see, interspersed with a little bit of wilderness between them. They are completely gray and barren. Like every single crop has been removed. What little remains has either been scorched or is not there to be seen.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh,
Are you guys heading further south then?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
only a little ways to the light. It's just by the river.
we gotta stop this thing and like today.
Yeah.
We needed to stop it last week, actually, but
Well, no, but I mean we can't go back in time unless that coin does something more than we think it does.
What
hey,
coin?
Coin, can you send us back in time? That's why
Oh.
he puts it away.
Oh yeah, no, there's this coin that Magic Crow that could talk gave Robin.
No, yeah, here, look.
Ooh.
That moment when Tyler is the only one who doesn't know about the coin.
Give me the coin. Give me the coin.
We were talking about it when we were taking the dude to the jail.
Yeah, we're not sure what it does, but we know that it's strong conjuration.
And
Yeah.
if you flip it, it does something.
I mean, we don't know that. We assume
Yeah,
that.
no,
It was- I was
Siggy
giving-
Siggy said that.
Oh,
Let me
Oh,
let me
okay.
see it.
Oh, so Sigus didn't know any more than me. All right, that makes me feel better.
I'm gonna do a spellcraft.
Sure, give me a spellcraft as you cast detect magic
it.
and just concentrate on it.
Come on.
Hey,
Nice.
there it is.
Alright, so what you're going to be able to tell is that whatever magic has been inlaid into this coin is capable of connecting you via communication with someone else. It's one specific other endpoint of this conversation, but if you flip it, you'll be able to talk to them directly.
Ooh. I'm gonna let the group know. So that when you flip it, talk to somebody. Don't know who we're talking to, but
It's probably whoever owns that crow.
Yep, probably.
so do we try it?
I would say let's deal with
Wait.
that later, maybe.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
fair
we got
enough.
more
maybe
more
next
pressing
time.
concerns.
Maybe next time I decide to die, I'll flip it before I die and see what happens. You know, because
Gotcha.
yeah.
I feel like flipping
Casually
it
just
before
like,
you
yeah,
die
next
would be
time I die.
kind of useless.
Yeah, you want to talk.
How are
to
you gonna
some...
talk to him if you're dying?
We can after we deal with this whole ghoul situation, then we can talk to whoever the hell this is.
Okay, fair enough.
All I'm saying is that if we get nowhere with this foxglove situation, maybe we flip it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Maybe
Alright.
whoever this is responsible for all this bullshit too. Who knows?
Possible.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Cool.
then we can find them and grind them into bread,
And I'm in
and
grind.
then Siggy's can eat them because he
Feel like
loves
that'd be
bread.
real gross.
Gross.
Also, feel like you get ghouls grinding it.
Yeah,
Well,
whatever.
let's check out this place. Maybe there's some sort of sign
Okay.
of what happened here. It was like a weird, really bright, flickering light, kind
like
of.
like a fire.
Like
Yeah,
a
but, like, big.
bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a
Okay.
campfire,
Weird.
bonfire.
Alright,
Well,
so you guys are heading further south, right, towards where you had
Yeah.
spotted the flickering light. So,
Yeah.
as you come across the Saugus River, you see that the Lost Coast Road has a little bit of a bridge there. Unfortunately, you do also spot that there is a very clear blotch of blood that has dried up across the bridge, staining the wood a red, deep crimson. And that same sort of trail of blood sort of becomes a drag mark on the other side of the bridge as it keeps going further south. And then there's another blotch of blood and footsteps, boot-like footsteps, moving out from that second sort of pool of dried blood.
Check it out.
well,
Yeah.
looks like we got someone else on this path.
Yep. If it's obvious, Robin will, dart ahead because he's fucking Robin.
All right, so you start running, separating from the group that is sort of at a leisurely trot, and you start to follow those footsteps, which are very clear, sort of prints of blood on the floor, and they start to become less and less distinct the further away you are from that dried pool of blood. And they go down the same direction that the Lost Coast Road goes, and eventually they sort of become just faint footsteps on the dirt. And as they do transition into that sort of dirty footsteps, you see the forest, the tiny bit of forest around you has been scorched. There's a clear distinction between where the forest sort of maintained its greener natural color, and then it's just ashen grounds. And as you break the tree lines, you do see a man sort of half conscious, holding onto their blade, which is stuck to the ground by a small campfire, and they seem to be in not a very great shape, as they're sort
Does
of
he have an
looking around.
eagle on his shoulder?
He does have a rather distinctive eagle on his left shoulder.
Oh, it's
Instead of-
that dude.
As soon as you
Found him.
God, I
As-
found him. I scream back to everyone. Dorbin, we need you up here, dog.
All right.
So,
I'll
as-
run up.
Okay.
As soon as you break the line, the tree line, and you spot him, you turn to shout. You hear a swish as a throwing knife passes by your head, very close to you. And as you turn again, you see the man ready to fight, holding the bastard sword with both hands. Oh, it's just. Are you coming here for gold and?
No. Hey,
No.
dude, we got a medic coming in. You just relax.
He's sort of looking around, trying to spot the medic that you're calling out to. It's like, no, I'm not gonna be taken down after all this.
No, dude. You've been out here for a while. Your buddy is up in Sandpoint. He's been looking for you.
Yeah. He actually asked us to find you. I
Yeah.
assume I've trotted up by now.
Yeah, you sort of bring the horses around, and like he's in a defensive position, facing Robin across
Yeah,
the opening.
Your name it's Ruben Terran, right? And Simon's your friend?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Simon's in Sandpoint with everyone else. What
And
the
he's
hell
safe.
happened to you?
Stuck in here. I can't leave. Every time that I try to step out, there's a group of ghouls coming in.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah,
Well, we're just gonna have to get rid of him.
haven't slept in 3 days now.
Jesus.
All right.
I'll show him my holy symbol. I'll be like, I'm just gonna try to patch you up. I got a wand, cure light wounds. Hit you with that a couple times. That's all right.
Oh fuck! I got dizzy from doing that jacket.
Yeah.
I hope you're sitting.
Yeah.
You ain't been bit, have you?
No, I did get beat, but I'm all right. All right. Just you get closer. Everyone else stand
All right.
back. And he's sort of gesturing for you, Dorban, to get closer.
I'll walk up with my wand.
Yeah.
I'll shield still on my back, weapon still, holster,
Yeah.
and I'll hit him with the wand.
He starts to feel a little bit better and looks at him and is like, all right. Yeah, we're fine.
Good to keep going.
Yeah. I think we're in good terms.
All right.
What's your name?
Dorban.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
I'm Ruben Terran, but I think you already knew that.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, you look exhausted.
Yeah, I am.
Unfortunately, I don't think I have any of that.
It's fine. He
So-
sheets his bastard sword behind his back.
I know you're supposed to be meeting with Simon, but given the undead issue here, we're headed to try and stop it at the source.
He's not
Do
coming
you-
with us.
Yeah, no.
Well,
Nope, he's
I
not.
know he's not coming with us, but I'm saying, do you know? Can you get to Sandpoint? Are you gonna make it that far?
I need a horse. Mine was eaten by the ghouls.
Nice.
So if you could, I know it's asking a lot, but if you could share a horse with me.
We could give you one of ours to ride back, because we gotta keep going. We can't turn around again.
Right.
I want to give him Nonis.
Yeah, I can double up with one of you two.
Here,
Yeah.
take
Fi-
Fish.
Yeah, Fish is he got us away from the ghouls last night. The reason why we actually came back here is because we saw your fire last night, but obviously we had just run through like 100 ghouls, so wanna.
Yeah.
Did you throw like a fireball down here? What happened to the trees?
First couple nights I had to set some campfires, and last night a bigger group of ghouls was coming my direction, so I sprinkled some oil on the trees and then I set everything on fire.
Robin sort of turns around,
Effective.
starts and walks away.
Yeah.
How's he
It
looking?
totally wasn't my fault.
He's still bloodied.
How about now?
He's no longer bloodied. As you see his skin regain a little bit of color, and the sort of several bruises and cuts on his arms and legs seem to close up a little bit.
Robin
Robin,
will also give him a potion to cure light wounds and be like, in case you need it.
Right, I think I owe you quite a bit now.
And then I'm gonna hit him one last time and be like, all right, you should be good now.
Yeah, I think I can
Yeah.
take a few more of them with me.
you, Robin, you're good to walk the rest of the way, eh? If the rest of us are riding double.
Yeah.
Right. I'll make sure that I can pay you back in the future. As he says as he's trading horses with you.
Just I know
Tell us-
Simon has to go to Magnamar for something. I think today.
Yeah.
But
Tomorrow.
you guys tomorrow. You guys need to like sit
Not.
and
Yeah,
point
you probably
until
should
we
chill
feel-
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking
Yeah.
Simon.
And like keep his ass there because he's
Yeah.
gonna want to go to Magnamar, and it's very clearly not safe to go to Magnamar.
Also, we
Yeah,
could
no.
use whatever clerics and fighters in Standpoint at this point.
Yeah, if you could send a Raven to Magnamar, if you have any buddies, they could come on up. That'd be great.
Things are complicated in McNamara right now. The entire city is under lockdown. There's been several murders in the town.
Oh,
Oh my
Magnamar?
god, what is wrong with this fucking country? Okay.
by the way,
yeah, there's
we had
a-
the same. We had a murder. Is it what, 7-point star? Is that what we've been seeing a lot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a 7-pointed star.
No, McNamara. They were talking about a group of murderers going about in the night and kidnapping people. The only thing that has
That could
been
also-
found of them has been their, in some cases, heads, and others just fingers with notes.
Okay.
That's new.
Okay.
I mean, people in the farmlands
Similar.
were also getting kidnapped, but they were getting kidnapped to be turned into ghouls. So the fact that heads are being delivered,
Wait, hold on. There was that wagon, the ghoul on the wagon. He had the wagon full of body parts.
yeah, I don't think that's related. I think that's
Oh,
food for the
okay.
ghouls.
Look, if you don't mind, I should head back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, for sure.
Out of here.
Right. I need to get to Sandpoint before sundown. He says as he
Yep.
climbs onto
for sure.
Nana's fish. Right, best of luck, and I hope that I can repay you this debt. Hey,
Yep. Do what you can to help Sandpoint after you get your sleep. Now get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Don't
he starts
die.
You shout at him as he's riding away into the distance.
Give Simon a kiss for me.
French him.
He turns around and rides back. What'd you say about my boyfriend?
Oh no, what have I done?
Alright, so
Actually, we should all be able to double up. All of us
Yeah,
still be
we-
riding
we-
horses.
yeah. So it's gonna take you another 20 minutes to get to the Foxglove River. And as you're sort of getting there, it is now about 5 in the afternoon. It's been a long trek. You set off from Sandpoint at about 11:30 in the morning, and it is now about 5 in the afternoon. And as you've reached the Foxglove River, you do hear in the distance echoes of
From the east?
from the east and west.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
fucking
Oh.
go while there's light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see if we can find a place to bunker up at the manor.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, just a heads up. It's horses travel at 5 miles an hour for Pathfinder, or 3.5 if you're doubled up.
All right. So because
So they actually move pretty quick.
yeah, so because you were doubled up from the beginning, you would have to move at the speed of the slowest horse.
Yeah.
Which would mean that you were moving at 3.5, which is about right because that is 1 mile there, 2 miles there, 3. Okay, yeah. So it's a little bit earlier than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
it
when I
is-
measured out, I think it was like 9 miles.
Yeah,
Miles like that.
it's no. If you go around the
3:30.
if you go around the long way for the Lost Coast Road, it has been about 7 miles to this point. So it's
Yeah.
been because you did have to slow down a couple times to cross the rivers and whatnot. I'll say that it was about 3 hours since you left, so it is 3 in the afternoon thereabouts.
Yeah.
Still, you do hear the in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be caught at night with that horde of ghouls.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what horses do we have? We have Shadow Mist. We have
And sourdough.
Sourdough.
Oh,
and then Robin's
and-
on foot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot
Okay.
that we had 3 horses
So-
before.
Cool. So Robin's gonna take out his bow, and he's just gonna like go. Like Robin's gonna be like, "I'll scout ahead, straight up, and you guys can just follow along at like a brisk pace. And if I see ghouls, like I'll just take one out and then come back and be like, all right, form up."
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a perception check, Robin, and everyone else as well. I want a perception check for the entire party. As you guys are setting towards the west, along the river banks, and you see the sort of plains are have.
Jesus, my rolls suck today.
You see
Yeah,
the floodplains on both sides of the river, stretching as far as the eye can see, and eventually becoming the marshes as they reach the bay. But you don't see any kind of creature prancing about, nor ghoul in waiting to jump on you. Robin, you sort of reach the halfway point, turn back, catch up with the party. There doesn't seem to have been any problems. You go out once again to scout ahead. And like this, you sort of slow down your pace in order to be able to scout and keep the party composition. So it ends up taking you about another hour to reach the manor. And as you do, you see off in the distance, at the very, very edge of where the cliffs hang over the water, you see the silhouette of a house. But before that, you see a iron gate, a fence, with spikes on the top of that fence, spanning the entire width of the peninsula, sort of where the cliff starts to narrow down. That fence covers the entire width of the land, and at the very center, where the road meets that fence, is a beautifully ornate iron gate with 2 representations, one on each of the doors of the gate, representations of those wreaths of death bells, signifying that this is the Foxglove Manor. And chained, the gates are chained and locked with a very heavy, almost like intimidating looking lock with a keyhole. Now I'm gonna ask everyone for a short break as I ask the question. Are we good to go for another hour? Is everyone good to go for another hour?
Yes.
I can.
I know Stigus was saying
yeah,
that he
I
could
could
only
probably-
do a couple hours, so
I
up to
could
him
probably
really.
go to like 5 if that works.
That works for me.
Okay, yeah, we can do up until 5 then. So I'm going to do a very quick short break so that we can grab a little bit of water and use the restrooms if we need to.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Side note: it's about to be 420 on 4/4/2020. So there's
Oh my
that.
god.
Oh my God.
We need to
Guys,
be
I
back.
gotta take a
Sorry,
break and
guys,
get
I
high.
have to go.
Yeah.
Dank.
We need to be back by 4:20 for 4/20/20. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right,
Deal.
4-minute break.
3 minutes.
Got 3
go.
minutes.
I mean, we actually have another 3 hours.
Yeah, we sure do.
It can happen more than once.
One of the fun parties I went to was once my old friend Zach. He hosted a New Year's, and every time, and the whole party, we started early, and every time a different time zone hit New Year's, someone would have to get up, make a big New Year's speech, and then we all drank. Like we celebrated every hour on the hour. It was
Oh my
quite.
God, that's amazing.
It was really fun. I recommend doing it because the speeches just get sloppier and sloppier.
I
And
bet.
then, yeah.
And it
You
was
have to
Zach.
give a speech.
You mean
So-
better
Yeah.
and better?
Yes. Well, at one point, you also have to then everyone does a big toast and does a drink, which then that went downhill pretty quickly. So, anyways, I think absence shots to Jesus was one. That was an interesting. That was
My
our-
first
that was
shot
an hour, like,
was an
4.
absence shot to Jesus with Sheik and Zach, by the way.
That's so
No.
funny. Absinthe is
Anyways.
nasty. Fuck that shit. Oh,
Yeah.
so gross.
All right. I'll be back. Are we meeting like 5 minutes?
2.
Or are we just going?
2.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'll be back.
I don't smoke weed, and but I do have some CBD gummies ready.
Yo.
You know,
Shove them in your
we
mouth.
got. I mean, it's the same, right?
Yeah, it's getting high as fuck.
I don't get high from CBD.
Oh, right, it's CBD. Never mind.
It just makes me calm.
Oh. You need them to be able to quarantine yourself. I get it.
I need them to become a sane human.
Yeah.
Whoa, child, calm down.
I haven't wanted to go outside once in like 2 months.
Because I wanted to go outside because I didn't want to exercise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am back.
Exercise.
Back.
I'm eating CBD gummies in solidarity with 420, even though it's not weed. But here we are.
That's close enough.
And they taste like yummy.
Yummy gummies.
Gummies.
Your tummy.
I just want to eat the rest of them. I might.
I am
The
returned.
problem is you have to have them and then you have to put them away because if they're just right there, you just keep eating them. And then like
What's-
45 minutes later, you're like, what have I done?
What is this for?
I only ate like 6.
We're talking
It's
about
fine.
gummies, edibles.
Oh yeah, I just dummied a bag of
Yes, I understand.
sour keys.
The problem is edibles are delicious, and when you have some, you want more of them because they're just there.
Yeah.
But they not edibles.
Yeah.
It's just like
It's
CBD.
just
All right, guys.
Okay.
Let's get back onto the creepy game.
happy 420 for 42020.
Yeah, happy
No.
420.
I love it.
Fuck.
20,
420,
20,
420. Yeah. All right.
Now
so
we know what Vosen was doing before.
Shush. All right, so you guys are standing before this beautifully ornate, or at least in its making, it is very fanciful with its intricate details, fence that separates you from the property itself, and a locked chain guarding the fence from being opened.
All right, I got it. Robin's gonna try and disable it.
There you go.
Give me a disable device.
Yo, Robin, we got the key. I think.
And
So you go to unlock it, and you break one of your lockpicks, trying to turn it, and you can tell this thing is not only massive, it is actually purposefully made so that if someone tries to force it, it will break your tools. It sort of has a collapsing lock inside of it.
Hold on, I has a key.
huh?
Yeah, let's use the key since we have it.
Neat.
Try the key.
Yeah, you grab the key that you got from the
Driver.
the blind driver, and as you push it in, you hear, and then you turn it, it goes. And it
Robin
opens
takes
up.
the lock.
All right, yeah. You have a lock that weighs 10 pounds now, and it's made out of.
I put it in the fanny pack.
Yeah, it is made out of solid
Dang.
wrought iron. Right, so as the lock breaks apart, unlocks, you pull the chains. Robin pockets the lock in the bag of holding. You push the gate open, and you can hear like as the door creaks with misuse and years of neglect. It opens up and leaves the way open for you to go into the grounds of the Foxglove Manor.
Now, should we close the door behind us?
I was thinking the same thing, but my Auntie Elle always told me to leave an escape route. So unless you guys are ready to jump into the ocean, I think we should leave it open.
That's a fair point. I just
Yeah, I
don't
think
want a
leave it open.
swarm of ghouls to come in.
So, which one is it?
We'll leave it.
Leaving it
I'm
open.
leaving it open.
Okay, so you leave the door open behind you and march further into the Foxglad Manor's grounds. And as soon as you sort of start heading towards the house, the silhouette of the house in the distance, you spot something very particular, very somewhat ominous of the region, and that is that despite the general good climate that has been falling upon Sandpoint hinterlands lately, the general area of the manor seems to be cloudy a little bit. Not storm like, not black clouds, but it seems to be overcast at all times. And the grass seems to have turned a shade of grey and grown twisted and long. The trees are completely devoid of all leaves, which wouldn't be too strange for the season that you're in, being fall, but they seem to have dried up almost completely. And
I was just gonna say, Sigus, do you want to leave Korvac at the gate, and then if something bad is coming, he can freak out, and you'll know.
Sure.
Great.
Correct. And with the horses too?
Yeah.
Are we taking? Yeah. So I will tell him to do that.
are you dismounting at the gate and leaving the horses at the gate?
No. If we can bring them in too, let's bring them in as far as we can. Unless we're trying to be real stealthy.
Red, mute your mic when you're chewing on cereal.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Also,
Sorry.
I don't know why.
Bruh.
Has anyone else? No one else is having issues with Sandy.
Breaking?
I
No.
can barely hear him. He sound. Okay. Anyways.
Sorry, you were saying
But yeah, I think we should-
you're bringing the horses with you, but you're leaving Korvax at the gate. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Korvax
Put him up in like a tree or something.
All right. Takes off, goes over to. There's no trees near the fence. The trees are starting like about
Alright.
200 feet away from the fence. So Korvax would stand on perch himself on the fence itself.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. So as you're getting closer and closer to the Foxglove Manor, you see the tree lines start to break away from the road, and then you see a cluster of trees around the house. And it is by this point where you're about 300 feet away from it that you can really see what has happened to this manor over the last years. The outside seems to have been licked by fire, but at the same time remained unscathed by it. There seems to be a thick layer of moss growing on every single plank of wood in this house. The windows that at one point were beautiful, clean, and made of crystal, so divinely carved, have glossed over with dirt and oil that has layered upon layered grown over the years to the point where they seem to be impossible to see through. The door that is closed at the front gate, at the front of the house, seems to have splutters of different colors of moss growing on it. The only thing that remains untouched by this decay is the door handle itself, which seems to be to have had a lot more use lately, as you can tell that there's that sort of shine of copper on them. There is a second door to the left where you see a little bit of a detached shape that is built on one side of the house, but it is sort of forming into the lower level, into one piece. And you can see once again that structure seems to be a little bit taller than the main floor of the house. Has either church or ballroom feeling to it from the outside, with beautifully decorated wooden doors leading to a desecrated sort of garden that overlooks the cliff. And you can see that at one point there was a stone path leading from that door to the cliffside, and a wooden table has completely eroded away and is now hanging on two legs and half broken. And aside from that, you see to your right, sort of as you're looking at the house, there used to be a smaller house detached from the main one that has burnt down and collapsed. Where now only remains the few segments of detached walls, and next to it is a well that seems to be left unattended.
We don't like wells around
Robin's
Oh.
gonna turn to everybody.
This
he's
is the
gonna be
most
like-
haunted shit I've ever seen.
So this shit's fucked up, and
Yep.
I got something to say. Actually, not even say. I think I can just show you, and it'll speak for itself. And Robin pulls out the 10 fucking vials left, and he's gonna be like, "We can just nuke this shit and be done with it." I'm giving you the option now. We can just nuke the entire building and leave.
Also, Dorban has.
Oh,
would
you
not-
you have them? Okay.
Yeah, I would. I mean, you could bring them up. That's fine. But Dorban wouldn't trust you with that many explosives on a regular basis. He gave that to you as a treat.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
I meant to give them back to Grigori. We're back in town, but I forgot.
Good.
All this month, like did it in the history books and stuff that when they were telling me about that moss, is that the kind of like, did they have any way to identify it, or I just know it could be?
It could be the moss that was talked about in the books, but it would be hard to tell because you didn't have like a depiction of it, only a description in words. And the way that it was described was like, oh yeah, it is this specific family of moss that we have detected with a pathogen, a carrier for it. I'm gonna move you guys to the map where you can see a little bit of what this house looks like.
Ooh.
I'm blind.
I'm also
you?
blind.
Okay, give me
Yeah.
a
I
sec.
can see just fine.
Kitty.
Do you
It
have dark
says-
vision?
Ah, right. So because it's overcast, I need to give you your iron torch in
Light.
order to be able to see.
Is
I
it?
have,
Oh, is it
I have
dark?
one, and then
It is
Robin has one.
dark enough that it would be dim light to dark.
Ooh.
So if it's dim light,
Too
the iron
dark.
torch would be doubled almost, because the dim light becomes bright light because it stacks with itself, and then yeah, so the iron torch is doubled.
Yeah. So it doubles the distance. For the sake of simplicity on my end, so that I don't have to change it back and forth, I'm gonna keep it as 40-20.
Okay.
Hey, 40-20. Yeah, you should be able to see now, Red.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So as you guys are heading forward, like it becomes dark enough that you can see the path ahead, but it's starting to lack detail, right? You can't really see the intricacies of your surrounding area. And Robin, you would have to turn on your iron torch in order to be able to see better. That being said, everyone, roll me a perception check.
I am once again asking for your explosives.
Right.
So, Sigis, as you cast Detect Magic, you invoke those words. You see a little bit of a halo of magic form in front of your eye, and as you see through that lens, you don't see any magic aside from the one that is irradiated by your friends.
Go. It's a great word, by the way.
What?
Irradiated.
Irradiated.
like-
Radiating. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a great word choice.
Alright, thank you. So Silera, Red, Dorbin, and Sigis. So Robin perhaps is a little bit concentrated on getting the explosives from Dorbin and thinking about blowing the place up. Everyone else, you do spot that there are perhaps the only thing that is moving around here are a couple of crows that are perched on the decaying trees. And they sort of are looking at the group as you guys are coming closer to the house. They
Hey,
sort of go,
Robin.
"Rah!"
You recognize any of those crows?
Nah. Just nah.
Okay.
Odd.
So I don't know if you guys noticed, but it looks like that one door's been used recently because it's all
Yeah.
shiny.
Yep.
Or the knob is. Do we want to go in the way where everyone else is going in, or do we want to try the other door and kind of come around?
Well, there are a couple options. So it's dim light, right?
Yes. So everything that is
Robin
outside of your
could-
torch is dim currently.
Okay, so Robin could see without his ion. Theoretically.
Yes, you could see without your iron torch. You could put it out, but you would be seeing black and white.
So if I keep this, can I keep this sight without my ion torch? Like, can I say I put it away and keep this?
Yes, yes. We can just assume that you can see out about 60 feet. I think is dim light.
It
Because
would be-
eventually you're losing too much detail.
Yeah, I could see that much at most.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
we'll go with keep your iron torch as is, even though it's not out. Like you are hidden. You're in dim light, and if you wanted to
Yo,
hide,
Sandy, mute.
Oh,
you're bro. It's the second time. You can hide easily in the dim light, right? We can say that
Yeah.
it is dim light, and you're just for the mechanics of Roll20. We have your iron torch active.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're not blowing this bitch up, I can go scout it out.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump to blowing it up immediately.
Yeah, that's-
I want to hold on to him just in case that we have to get away from or to
yeah.
chuck all
Look,
of them down.
Yeah.
if we got to start running, then
Like we
drop
could also
'em and go.
like if we have time, we could also just like if we end up choosing to burn it all down, we could just burn it all down, like and save the explosives.
I guess.
Not that
Or
I
we could
think
put them-
we
We could put them on the foundation and just fuck it up.
Also, I don't think this will stop the haunting if it's a haunting causing this whole thing. That seems magic, not explodey,
Well,
right?
it can't hide in a house if there's no house.
Well, then it's gonna do whatever the haunt thing is to the ground or something. I don't know how this works.
I like the idea of kind of casing the area first and then deciding
Yep.
which
Well-
entrance might be the best. And yes, explosives last resort.
Let's
So-
start
I
with
like
this
that.
burnt shit over by the well and then swing over to the unused door. I got a bad feeling that if we go in the main one, we're gonna start running into traps or something.
All right, hold on. Robin's gonna. Bruh,
Whoa.
that
really
was a
loud.
little bit.
That was really loud. Holy crap.
That was
What?
really loud. Robin's gonna stealth over to the well and look in it because he's already made this mistake once.
All right. Give me a perception check.
And perception. Holy
There you
shit!
go.
All right. So you see that the well drops. There is no water at the end. It just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping, and eventually, you can tell there is a little bit of ground, but without an iron torch lit or some source of light at the bottom, you won't be able to tell what's at the bottom of the well. It's
Robin
just
will
inky
hold up a
blackness.
hand and like tell everybody to wait and make preparations, and then he's gonna just like walk down the well.
All right. You start to head down the well, and eventually the side of the well, very much with like what happened back at the Wisher's Well, you see that it sort of ends and a cavern opens up beneath. But you can't. You still without light. This is pitch black down here. You
He'll put
can't
on
see
his iron
anything.
torch.
All right. Your iron torch flickers on, and as it does, you see dozens of ghouls turn to look at you, and they start reaching out towards the walls to try and climb up.
Robin puts it away, climbs back up, walks over to Dorbin, is like, "Give me one of those explosives right now. Give me.
All right.
Give it to
Fine.
me. Give it to me."
Also,
Great.
you went the wrong direction.
Oh, you went over there? Okay, all right. Give it to me. And
Yeah,
then he's gonna
yeah.
go over here and he's gonna just fucking drop it.
All right. Give me 1d3 because you just grabbed a random explosive.
Haha.
Yep.
All right.
That's a good
Roll me
plan.
an attack roll to drop one of the vials.
Okay. That is gonna be. Oh boy.
No
So
bueno.
you go to throw it and you feel like the slickness of the vial as there seems to be a little bit of a leak in the vial, and as you drop it, it sort of doesn't quite go down. It sort of slips with the flick of your wrist, hits the side of the well, and spreads this sort of caustic smelling oil around the perimeter of the well, and starts to droop down as you see the first of the ghoul's eyes sort of reflecting some of the daylight.
Red's
That was
gonna
the wrong one. Give me the other
click
one.
on his ion torch at this point.
I'm gonna light. All right, so I'm gonna take out one of my oil, because actually oil flask.
Okay.
Molotov it. Chuck it.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
You set it
I'm
on.
gonna aim for the spot that the caustic stuff hit.
All right.
If it makes it a light.
Give me a
Whatever.
ranged attack check. Ranged attack.
Just
I
two
think you're
buddies blowing up
standing-
wells.
Holy
Best
shit!
friend.
Oh yeah.
I rolled
All
so
right.
high.
So I want
Yay.
both Robin and Dorban to give me reflex saves. As Dorban, you bring out
Oh, God.
a vial of oil, uncork it, set it on fire, and you see the first ghoul touch that caustic acid. You drop the Molotov, and as it hits the
Sucks.
acid, you see the entire area of that sort of caustic acid be set ablaze, and that fire sort of climbs out of the well, licks your sides, and as it does, it leaves instead of smoke, a cloud of noxious air. So Dorban, go ahead and take 3 points of fire damage. Robin, if you have evasion, you don't take anything. Otherwise, you take 1 point.
Okay, I will take 1 point.
I did say 3 and
I
1, right?
use a
I
little
didn't.
bit of
I didn't
eyebrows.
fuck that up. If it 3 for Dorban, 1 for Robin.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
And now I need both of you to give me fortitude saves.
Word saves? Alright.
Yep.
Good job.
I-
Oh,
You're
gross.
fine.
Okay. Weird
So-
flex.
All right, the two of you are fine, and you see the ghoul that was set ablaze start to burn, let go of the walls, and start to drop to the bottom of the well. And as they do, you see the rest of the ghouls start to climb back down away from the fire. And just as a reference, now the well has become like a chimney of fire as it continues to burn and let out this noxious cloud that starts to spread out in a 20-foot radius around the.
Do it again.
So, Robin, I think we're done with the stealth now. Let's get in
Yep.
this place.
Shit. That's where all the noxious fumes are?
That is all the noxious fumes. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out my bow.
Also, can you throw a light on Red?
I can do one better. I'll throw a light that everyone can see on the now column of fire. You should be able to see the column of fire.
No, I can see that
Yeah.
one. I was just gonna say because we're gonna be going in the house, and
Yeah.
Red
Do you
has
have
the torch
a?
as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you light up a torch. Oof. You bring out your torch, you light it up, and you see the fumes sort of are climbing out of the well like with momentum, and then fall down to the floor and spread out.
They're continuing to spread, or
They sort of they spread out from the well, and like as they're reaching the edge of that circle, they sort of become diffuse enough that you wouldn't be smoking them,
oh, yeah.
inhaling.
I'm gonna cast
So-
Spark on the fumes to see if. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna do that. Never mind.
Do it.
Are you or you're not?
No, You guys are
Right.
right there. Like, if they're well, they wouldn't. That's not how they work. I'm not going to do it. I am going to move a little further away though.
You're not gonna pull a Greta?
It is labeled in my spells as Greta's Spark.
No.
So
mean-
anyway, so Red's gonna say, can we go through the door that's not regularly used? Because I think they're kind of gonna try and come up the other way now.
Well, yeah, they definitely know we're here, and this is the first step of my stealthing. First of all, they all get their attention drawn here. Second of all,
We go
Hi.
elsewhere.
and
Yeah.
he's just gonna fucking Robin just fucking runs to the side of the cliff and just like is on the side of the cliff.
All right.
So he's
All
out of.
right. Everyone else, as you see Robin
What?
start to dash and go around the side of the cliff, I want you all to give me a perception check.
Hey,
Perception.
I can't
Dog
roll a
shit today.
19.
All right. So the lot of you are sort of distracted by Robin dashing off, except Solera, who sort of sees Robin. It's like, oh god, like he's doing this thing again.
Here we
And
go
then-
again.
Yeah, and then you look, the corner of your eye catches the fire going like. It expands for a moment. It takes the shape of like a vague humanoid face and then disappears.
Yoink.
She jumps off the cliff.
You
now.
just jumped off
Whee!
the cliff.
What the fuck are you doing?
Bye.
Silera, let's go inside, away from the
Scared
ghouls.
me.
Away from the ghouls.
I feel like leaving the horses there is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can
Agree.
either fight
Alright.
a mob of ghouls at this well, or we can bunker up inside. We can send the horses running if you want.
Okay, I heard noises. What was that?
I think it's the dog. Oh.
Okay.
That's the crows.
Also, isn't Shadow Mist supposed to be full health?
She should be. I don't know why she isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll heal her back up. Give me a
Silera's
sec.
abusing the horse.
She beats the shit out of regular.
God damn it, Shadow Mist.
you
I
go.
told you to go this way. You never fucking listen.
That or a Jeep keeps getting hungry in the stables.
Doesn't get mad.
Nom 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 nom.
Alright, so Robin, you're sort of holding to the side of the cliff, very strangely, like sort of taking a knee as you're in a vertical surface, your knee touching the wall, and as your head and arms are over the edge of the cliff, you take aim at the well, and you see, now that you're looking at it attentively, the fire is gone and the fumes have died down immediately.
Which means that they can climb up.
Yeah.
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 Let's go inside.
Real quick, do we want to meet them at the top of the well and not let them get out?
Yeah, kind of.
Red?
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ready action to stab then.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out my axe.
Move
Oh,
right there
boy.
so that I can pop my bow.
You hear
wait.
echoing up the well.
No. Hit myself a shield of faith real quick.
Alright?
And I'm gonna peer over the edge.
Alright. You see darkness at far beyond your 60 feet of vision.
Red does
I
have
grab
the
a pebble.
iron
I
torch
cast
right
light on
there.
it and drop it down.
Alright, you summon a divine energy into the rock. It starts to glow golden yellow, and you drop it into the well. You see sort of light the bricks of the well from the inside, so sort of casting those twisted shadows upwards. And as it drops to the bottom, you see it hit the ground. You see several figures around the very edge of where the rock landed, and they immediately pull back, and you see the rock sort of bouncing a couple times, and then you see only the light, and you hear the plop. And then silence.
Cutie, come on up and play.
Dolben. They're intelligent, right? They know we're waiting up here. So they're gonna come up and prepare in the house.
Most likely.
So
I
now
just
we
wanted to
got
make sure they didn't come out the well.
Well, they can do either now. This is one of the reasons why the explosives aren't always the best plan.
Right. So in the background, we see Sig sort of loading up his crossbow, put a bolt in, summon energy into his fingers, and like put a hand to his chest as ethereal armor surrounds him.
Red is gonna go or yell over to Solera. Hey, Solera, can you make sure the horses are all set so that if something is coming at them, they can just run?
Yeah.
Right. Robin, are you trying to climb up the side of the building then?
Yeah, he'll just walk up the building.
Okay. So you start to climb up.
Covered in ghoul moss.
Yeah. So the sides are moss covered, so I'm gonna need you to roll me a climb check, not to slip and slide, as if you were walking over on ice, essentially.
Sure.
Right. So you manage to tread up the side of the building. You reach the second story. Once again, the windows are beyond dirty. Like you can't see jack shit through them.
Yeah,
you
he's
can
just
tell.
getting on the roof.
Yeah, you can tell there's a second story to this area, and like once you reach the third, where the third story is for the rest of the house, on this sort of detachment, you reach the rooftop.
Great.
And once again, you see several windows, dirty enough that you can't see through them, and you see the shape of the building around it.
Cool. All right.
Right. So Solera, you're sort of holding both horses so as them not to get spooked. Red, Dorbin, you're sort of holding the ground next to the well, and you hear the echoing up the well, but nothing seems to be coming.
All right.
And the light has disappeared from the bottom.
Hey, Dorbin, Sigis, I don't know where Robin went. Solera, can we try this other door and get inside? I don't like them having the chance to set up before we get in there.
Robin, give me a reflex save as you're walking on the rooftops.
Sure.
Right. So you're walking on the rooftop, and like you can tell the shingles are sort of a little bit old, and the reinforcement underneath is as well, and your foot sort of goes through one of the shingles, breaks the clay, breaks the sort of asbestos beneath it, and you manage to pull your feet up and roll away from it before you see the surrounding area on the rooftop sort of become indented. Like, had you left your weight on it for just a moment further, it would have collapsed underneath you.
Robin will go on all fours to spread out his weight a bit as he
Right.
continues.
Yeah, you can still feel like the shingles are sort of very weak at this point, like as you're moving on the rooftop. Rest of the party, what are you guys doing?
Heading for that door, if that's the one that's not being used, like the one with the shiny knob.
No, this is the shiny one. This is the side door.
Oh, okay. This way
Also, I'd
then.
like to note that I can see through that.
Oh yeah, the door does have a. It's
Window?
Oh.
No, it just I forgot to set the doors.
It's not like you can really see much.
I could see
Yeah.
completely into there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I could see in there. I just couldn't.
and
tell
it
what was
will
going
show
on.
up in the video as well, because the guest can see what Dorbin sees.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell Solera to hurry up, and I'll bring up the rear.
so Red, which of the doors do you want to go to? The one that seems most used or least used?
Least. I wanna. They know we're here, and
Yeah, so it'd
they're
be this
probably
one.
expecting us to go the main way.
Okay. Are you gonna open
I'll-
it? Try?
I'm gonna wait for everyone for Dorbin and Sigis and Solera to catch up, and then I'll kind of try to stealthily open the door and go in. but they're gonna need to be within 10 feet of me or so.
Okay. Rest of the party, what are you guys doing?
I'll move up with him if he's calling us over.
Yep.
Okay. So see Red crouching by the door, or half crouching, getting ready to pounce in.
Saunters over.
Dwarven will shout over. Let me know when you guys have entered, and the first room is safe. I will follow at that point.
So Lara, you coming?
Yeah.
All right. I'll stealthily. Well, not that stealth's really important at this point because we were just talking. But he'll try to stealthily open the door.
All right. Give me a strength check as you start to push on the door, expecting it to open. Like you can tell the lock clicked and is open, but as you push, you can tell like the door has swollen with moisture and is nearly completely stuck as you.
Nope.
It doesn't open. Like you're putting all your weight behind it and it doesn't open.
Okay. Well, we're not going in this way, unless someone else really wants to kick this thing down.
Is there a keyhole?
The door is open. Like it's slightly, ever so slightly ajar, but Red can't seem to get it to slide open all the way.
It's stuck.
All right, Robin. As
Strong,
you're
though.
Robin, as you're crawling on the rooftop, you find the closest window, and give me a strength check as you're trying to break a thick crystal window. Right, you go for an elbow smash probably, and you pull back.
Detroit.
Yeah, you punch it a couple of times more as you hear the glass fall inwards, and you can climb in at that point if you would like to.
No, I'm just gonna leave it for now.
Okay, give me a perception check, Robin, as you are in the third story. Waiting for that perception check. All right. So first thing that you notice is as soon as the window has collapsed, you hear.
That's why I didn't go in for the record.
Almost like wind is gushing in and out through that window that you broke in, and then between those breaths, those currents of air, you hear. A woman softly crying, echoing through the
Okay,
house.
hold on. Do that again, because something fucked up, and that went through my headphones so loud.
Alright, you hear that, Robin.
Yeah. I mean, I want to help people, and I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. It's a shame I don't have explosives, for the record.
No, it's not.
I should fucking take Alchemist levels. Fuck all y'all. I can sneak attack with bombs, for the record, so fuck all y'all.
Go be a party of one if you're gonna do that,
So,
man. It's gonna kill everybody.
Which window? Is it just like at this corner that I'm in, or?
Unless you want to walk into, I'll tell you what is inside of the room, but I'll move you into the right map once you move into the house itself. So what you do see through the now broken window is pitch blackness, but like the little bit of light that is crawling into a room. I'm gonna stop the crying because it's very distracting. What little you see is the glass has fallen on a desk that is filled with paperwork and a globe of Galarian, and you see more paper in a second desk and bookshelves on both sides, and busts hanging on top of a pedestal nearest to the window. You can't see the rest of the room, not at least without a source of light.
Robin's gonna go break another window.
Just an FYI, the one that you're on is sort of a corner window, right, where the building sort of has a diagonal. In order to get to reach the next window, you would have to crawl on top of another section of roof. So you have to go down and up again.
I mean, sure. Fuck it.
All right, give me another reflex save as you start to crawl around and you feel the clay shingles break underneath you. Right, you feel your hand go through, pull it back up, run forward and leap forward, roll, and you hear the shingles breaking behind you, collapsing behind you. You grab onto the windowsill to break your weight away from the roof, and you can see down beneath you is a old musty bathroom where shingles have now falling into it. And you're sort of holding onto the windowsill with one hand, and your feet are on the most solid part of the roof.
Robin's gonna take out the club from the fanny pack of holding,
All
and
right.
he's gonna kind of use it like a walking cane and like smack the floor in front of him lightly to see what's like weakest, so he doesn't have this problem constantly.
All right. You are at a window though.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna use the club to smash the window.
Okay. Give me a strength check then. Right. So you break this window open, and you hear once more the sort of a sudden gush of air. And as the crystals sort of falls to the ground, you see a little bit of light sort of being cast into the room, and you can tell that this is another part of the same room. You can see the light from the other window coming into the same room. You see two busts now, one to the right, one to the left. You see a small fireplace in front of you with a bell-shaped exhaust up above you. And you see two desks at the center of the room. With now a little bit more light, you see more of the bookshelves in the room.
Okay. All right.
All right. Meanwhile, downstairs, the lot of you are giving up on the side door and going to the main door.
Yeah, unless Dorbin's
Yeah.
gonna come over and break it down, but I don't think his strength is good either.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
it's not.
So Red, you grab onto the door knob and pull it down, and you
Yeah,
hear a very
again.
satisfying click. And you push the door open, and it sort of slides a little bit with a little bit of restraint. Like you can hear the, and it needs a little bit of strength to put in, but it doesn't get stuck at any point. And the first thing that you see as soon as that door opens is a sculpture, or better said, sort of a stuffed animal type of deal, like a taxidermied chimera standing, looking forward, its mouth open, ready to pounce. And it's sort of, you have that split second reaction where it's like, get ready to block, and then you realize, as you pick again, that it's just stuffed. It's taxidermied. And
He kind of waves the others over.
yeah, and as you guys start to gather up at the front door and see the stuffed chimera and the moldy, run-down interior of the manor, that is good. We're gonna end tonight's session.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Good.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording now. So,
Buddy.
bye.
Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Peace.
This stream.